President, this is a war. This is a war, different kind of a war than we've ever had.
Today, no war has been declared. And however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion.
Today, the Department of Defense has started the process of formalizing what we have long known: the fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments. We follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of Special Operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. The global demands for Special Operations forces then and now has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of Special Operations forces.
This persecution is being done by the same weaponized agencies that for 7 years have been running illegal psychological warfare campaigns against the American people, much as if they were trying to destabilize a foreign country.
In the military, I started off my career as an air cavalry officer, flying helicopters, counter-reconnaissance, reconnaissance. Moved later into information warfare as an information operations officer, running psychological operations, computer network operations, deception, operation security, and electronic warfare, special electronic warfare. And I would tell you, as an unconventional warfare, information operations, information warfare specialist, the American populace is facing an unconventional warfare scenario.
President Trump is the commander-in-chief. It's undoubtedly the case, and he has pulled together all the military under the U.S. Space Force. All members of the U.S. Space Force are called guardians, no matter if you're a chief, master sergeant, or a cadet or a soldier, an officer. They are called guardians for a reason.
We have over 200 generals and admirals supporting us now. They ought to switch over to paper ballots. It's all watermarked now. It's really incredible stuff what you can do with paper. Paper is actually high tech.
Watermark ballots in over 12 states have been part of a huge Trump and military white hat sting operation. And Biden crime family and ballot fraud co-conspirators, elected officials, bureaucrats, social media censorship mongers, fake stream media reporters, etc., are being arrested and detained for ballot fraud right now and over coming days, and will be living in barges off Gitmo to face military tribunals for sedition.
Please allow me to say how proud I am of the almost 25,000 National Guardsmen who have come in from all 50 states and territories to help support the Secret Service and the police departments with a peaceful transition of military power.
In my first term, I disrupted all of it. Oh, did I disrupt? That was called major disruption. And in my second term, which we're sort of having now, but I don't want the results. Under the normal rules, I'll be out in 2024.
We are now in the phase, in my view, where the War Generals Coalition, this is a coalition of 200 active duty generals are at work, 34 nations. I don't know the list, I just know it's happening. He has put the US into war, active war. The US, United States codes of court martial are in force. Military justice is enforced. The Law of War Manual 2015, revised in July 23, is in force, and it is global. And it is a coalition of 34 nations that are now cooperating to bring down the cabal.
We're essentially fighting the entire globalist elite power structure that wants to control the world.
We're at war. In a true sense, we're at war. And we're fighting an invisible enemy.
To make it simpler for you to understand, these are military tribunal procedures, and you need to know that in war, which America is, it has mobilized 1 million National Guard soldiers in active duty. The codes of court-martial are clear. A court-martial tribunal can be declared behind a tank, behind a barn, on a highway cafe, in a city, anywhere in the world, in the battlefield, by the commanders themselves, and executed according to the court-martial articles, depending on the crime that has been committed: high treason, genocide, war crimes, and also lesser, I would say, severe infractions of the law of war.
In light of the countless sacrifices made by hundreds of thousands of American service members and our enormous progress over nearly 2 decades, we are now bringing these conflicts to their successful and responsible conclusion under the bold leadership of President Trump. Should any malign actors underestimate our resolve or attempt to undermine our efforts, we will not hesitate to restore deterrence and defeat any and all threats.
Read between the lines of Putin and President Trump. President Putin gave a football to his colleague in a very good ambiance, by the way. The press was there. And he said, "Mr. President, I give you this ball as a gift. The ball is now in your court." For those who didn't understand what that means, that was the signal to the cabal. From now on, President Trump and Commander-in-Chief and Putin, up to now and going forward, with 34 nations, are doing their job to liberate humanity from oppression.
One of the important factors of the pause is that we see how bad they've done. So we will be able to do it properly, and it will be much easier. Everybody will agree with us because everybody sees what a bad job has been done during this 2-year period, and it will be a 4-year period. Everybody sees that. It will be much easier for us to do what has to be done.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know that justice is on the way, and it's beyond my control, or beyond our control. We are not in the military, and we're not supposed to know what happens tomorrow, because the four-star generals at war will certainly not make a press conference and certainly not disclose what they're doing tomorrow.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm. We have the world's great military people in this room.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
You'll find out.
Mr. President, what did you mean by calm before the storm yesterday? What did you mean by that?
Thank you. You'll find out. With this strategy, we are calling for a great reawakening of America. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You and I have been in this battle side by side and together, and we've been taking on the entire corrupt system in Washington. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. 2024 is our final battle. When I get back into the Oval Office, we will totally obliterate the rest of the deep state. We will finish the job that we so brilliantly started. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come.
I call on everybody to apply the light, because we are the guardians of humanity. It's us, our spirit, and our light obliterates the darkness.
This is a crusade. This is a holy war against the deep state.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Couldn't handle your spirit.
Move over, Maryland dad. Democrats have a new crush. He doesn't wear a Bulls hat.
What's going on? Chills.
Oh, yeah, I was muted there, brother. My bad. Let's stop this here. We're going to play Hit On for a few more minutes. We'll be right back.
He's a cocaine cowboy of the Caribbean. But don't you dare call him the N-word.
There is no such thing as a narco-terrorist. There are very, very bad narcotics people, cartels, etc., but they're desperate to make this look like it's ISIS or Al-Qaeda because that's the very thin line on which their illegal use of the United States military to take these people out resides.
Remember, they said there's no such thing as Antifa either. Now they say they're just fishermen trying to make an honest living.
Most narco traffickers are not in those boats. They pay people to do that, and usually people who are not significantly involved with narco trading. It's the way they make money.
That's like saying most sex traffickers aren't the ones driving the girls around to turn tricks. Those guys are just chauffeurs trying to make money. I guess if a man can be a woman, then a drug trafficker can be a boat captain. ABC says, family of a fisherman killed in U.S. boat strike files human rights complaint. A fisherman? Are we going to start calling Epstein an accountant? Did Truman call Hitler the Austrian painter? This just in. The Associated Press says one of the guys on the boat we smoked was a longtime local crime boss who made his living smuggling drugs and women. Che Martinez was jailed in Venezuela on human trafficking charges. This was a bad hombre, and he wasn't trolling for marlin. These boats reek, and it's not because they're packed with pogies. These vessels are stacked to the gills with cocaine. Democrats just say, relax, it's just a little party boat snapping pics of the sunset.
People on a boat in the middle of the Caribbean carrying cocaine are not a direct threat to the lives of our service members or Americans.
The cartels have killed more Americans than Al-Qaeda. They're a direct threat. Overdose deaths, addiction, gang violence, sex trafficking, prostitution, carjacking, all emanate from the drug trade. Why can we bomb Toyota Tundras in the desert but not Coke boats in the Caribbean? They won't tell us. America's dropped bombs on weddings. Apparently, it's bipartisan. We showed you last night, George W. bombed a wedding in Afghanistan. Barack bombed a different wedding in Yemen. Bombs away, Barry bombed hundreds of innocent civilians during the war on terror. Some of the strikes were double taps. And they didn't call him a murderer. They called him Messiah. But Barack's trigger puller, loose cannon Leon Panetta, wants to send Pistol Pete to The Hague.
These are individuals in the water who were wounded. It is against the law to strike and kill those individuals. They did that. As far as I'm concerned, there is a war crime involved here, and it's for that reason that I think we need to hold people accountable.
Is Leon telling us that he never called in a second airstrike, ever, in 8 years? Is Leon saying he sent helicopters to give ISIS first aid when they survived an airstrike? Did anyone ever survive a Leon Panetta airstrike? Barry dropped 12,000 bombs on Syria in a single year without congressional approval. Obama killed about 4,000 people with drones. 800 of them were innocent civilians. Trump's not going to be lectured by anyone on war crimes. He's been a peace president, and he's gone out of his way to be surgical, precise, and humane. He's killed 80 narco-terrorists. None of them were innocent civilians. Barack Obama, in his last year in office, dropped 25,000 bombs across 7 countries. And Democrats are mad that Trump dropped 2 in the water.
I think Pete Hegseth, it's impossible to imagine that he survives this as Secretary of Defense. I think he must resign, and I think Republicans will ask for that ultimately once they investigate this. But this is a disaster for this generation of people serving in the United States military.
A disaster? Everybody in the military knows this is standard op. A former infantry rifle platoon leader said this: "My battalion commander nicknamed me Bombardier 6 because I love dropping 500-pound bombs on the enemy. The military doesn't get one chance to destroy the enemy." General Jack Keane put it perfectly. Listen.
If the target is a boat and people, the mission is to destroy the boat and kill the people. In about 25% of these kind of attacks, we do reattack. Either if the facility was the objective, to destroy the rest of the facility. If the people is the objective, to kill the rest of the people. That's just the reality of what we're dealing with, and people got to get their head around this.
Southern Command analyzed the results of the first strike and concluded that the boat was still partially intact, and most of the cocaine was still sitting in the stern. The narcotics could have easily been scooped up and run north to Miami. So he launched a second strike and put the boat and the coke in the bottom of the sea. Can you believe this is a controversy? Trump's not flinching an inch.
So to be clear, you support the decision to kill survivors after the initial
No, I
strike?
support the decision to knock out the boats, and whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone, but whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country.
Trump designated the cartels terrorists. That changes the rules of engagement. We're actually fighting the war on drugs, like a war, but the media would rather play cops and robbers.
Why isn't it possible to just interdict them the way that we do with the Coast Guard, where you go and take the drugs and then put those people on trial and investigate and then follow the drugs to their source of origin and then take care of it there? Like, none of this makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. We can't interdict them there because the Coast Guard's been doing this for 4 decades and it hasn't worked. They want us to keep doing what doesn't work. Why? Because they don't want Trump to be successful? Or maybe they love drugs. I don't know. She then says we should follow the drugs to the source of origin and take care of it there. Is she saying we should bomb Colombia? Is she saying we should bomb Venezuela? Because that's the source. Finally, something Trump and Maddow can agree on.
Very soon we're going to start doing it on land, too, because we know every route, we know every house. We know where they manufacture this crap. We know where they put it all together.
We have it all.
You know who else agrees?
We have it
The big
all,
guy.
baby.
Let's go after the drug lords where they live with an international strike force. There must be no safe haven for these narco-terrorists, and they must know it.
They're not just narco-terrorists. They're shacking up with another breed of terror.
The Venezuelan regime is a source of instability in the entire region. Over 8 million Venezuelans have flooded into neighboring countries as a result of the regime's activities within their own country, including into the United States. They also happen to be the foothold of Iran. That's not spoken about enough. Iran, its IRGC, and even Hezbollah has a presence in South America, and one of their anchor presence, especially for the Iranians, is inside of Venezuela.
Let me get this straight. A socialist dictator who runs a narco state and is in bed with China and Russia is harboring Hezbollah terror cells in our backyard. And the Democrats are calling our president a war criminal and a dictator for smoking a boat full of poison. The left had no problem carpet bombing Muslims all over the Middle East, no problem sending billions of dollars of weapons to blow up Eastern Europe. But the minute we try to clean up our own hemisphere, they try to trigger a mutiny in the military.
I would say that if you're focused on America and America first, you start with your own hemisphere where we live. What happens here, I'm not saying things that are happening halfway around the world are not important. I'm saying what happens in our hemisphere impacts us faster and more deeply than something that's happening halfway around the world.
South America literally has the name America in it. Venezuela is in Iraq. We trust the president to not kick over a hornet's nest. And on that front, we're hearing some good news. Word on the Latin Street is dictator Maduro has an offer to retire to the Kingdom of Qatar. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? He could live in the lap of luxury with all his girlfriends without a shot being fired. Democrats told us they hate dictators, except for this one, apparently. And now they're pushing for a military coup of Donald Trump.
I think in many ways, the uniformed military may help save us from this president and his lame people like Hegseth.
Disobey orders and save us from the dictator. And if you don't, we'll prosecute you when Newsom's president. That's their message. The way these guys are acting, they sound like they're on coke. Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security, Stephen Miller. All right, Miller, have you ever heard of a controversy like this?
Let's go.
No, this is the first time I can ever think where a major political party has sided with narco trafficking, murdering, terrorist scum. You know, you play one of those clips from a Democrat who said, oh, there's no such thing as a narco terrorist. They're just narco persons. The ISIS and these narco terrorists in our hemisphere use the same tactics. They use rape as a weapon. They skin people alive. They cut off their heads. They burn them to death. These narco terrorists, if a politician opposes them, they kidnap their family. If they don't give them what they want, they murder their family. You can go to the Border Patrol here in the United States and you can say, draw me a map of the border, and on the Mexican side, tell me which cartel controls every inch of territory. And the border agents can literally say, mile by mile, which cartel controls which section of the border. Not the Mexican government, they don't control it. Which cartel? When President Trump declared these organizations foreign terrorist organizations, that wasn't just a talking point. That wasn't just a buzzword. It was a promise from this president to use hard American power to kill and to stop these terrorists, these enemies of the United States.
Screenshot of that, you guys. That's hilarious.
Families, from killing our children, from taking over our communities. And that's what President Trump is doing.
And we have some breaking news from ABC. Listen to what they just reported about an hour ago. Roll it.
And tonight, new information. According to a source familiar with the incident, the two survivors climbed back onto the boat after the initial strike. They were believed to be potentially in communication with others and salvaging some of the drugs. Because of that, it was determined they were still in the fight and valid targets. A JAG officer was also giving legal advice.
This backs up the entire second strike.
Yes, I mean, it just doesn't get more crystal clear than that. The mission is take out the boat, stop the drugs, keep this vessel and its cargo from reaching our shore using lethal means.
Ah, yeah!
Let's
go,
go. Let's go.
Let's go! Dirty D's done dirt cheap. Dirty D's done dirt cheap. That's the title today, guys. Yeah, what a title. It's fitting. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Q School. Tim 17. We got, I got to go this way. There's my brother from another mother. Under hat, white hat.
Undercover the white hat. I haven't called myself that in quite a while.
We got the white hat and the black hats.
White hat, black hat.
Oh, and we got the Christmas red MelzieKaye in the house.
Go with your Christmas tree. Right, there we go. That way.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go. There we go. Little Christmas for you guys. Yeah. What are we? D4, Tomorrow's D5. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But listen, guys, today, I mean, Melzie, you're going to get quite involved in this discussion because obviously the Jesse Waters just nailed hammered the Democrats, right? And as you can see, the title's very fitting, right? Dirty D's. D's are Democrats or deep staters, right? So whatever way you want to use the letter D for. Dirty D's done dirt cheap. They're getting caught in all kinds of shenanigans right now. It's incredible to see how the news is unfolding and how much trouble they're walking into every freaking trap that the White Hats have orchestrated so far. But that was a good depiction of how off balance and how weird, how demonic they really are, because they're supporting the cartels. Like they're obviously they're going after the Trump administration and for what reason? Well, maybe these guys are getting paid off by their cartels. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Melzie? I mean, this Venezuela shit is big stuff happening right now.
It is, because it's a lot of different components to the corruption of the cartels. Like, I think that they're probably laundering money somehow. When you are like have 303 billion barrels of oil that go out a year. That would be, and that's like 3 times more than what the United States produces. Then that would be a reason then too to possibly launder money. And then with the Dominion voting, how intertied that is. And I heard that China is also, interwoven into that. So going after this is really, it's an act of war if they've interfered in our election interference, right? And then are they, with what are they bringing in with, is it just, if that's another act of war, if our borders aren't secured? I think that's, Article 4, Section 4, if we don't secure our borders, then we are compliant with the treasonous behavior. So it's like President Trump's duty to protect our borders and then to also protect our elections, right? Both of those. And I think he wrote an executive order too about election, protecting our elections, right? And the importance of that.
Yeah. So listen, guys, it's going to be a big freaking show. I'll just give you a little, I got my list here, and it's, I don't know if we're going to get through it all, but we're going to certainly try. But breaking news this morning, the pipe bomber has been arrested. A 30-year-old by the name of Dan Cole, living in Virginia. The FBI just had a press conference, at least 17 minutes ago. Anyway, they just finished their press conference with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and Judge Jeannie and the whole gang there. So that was interesting. That broke this morning. I got some John Solomon breaking news with Steve Bannon this morning. We'll share that with you in regards to some dirty D's, done dirt cheap stuff. We've also got a major battle with the voter rolls. So I'm glad you mentioned voting, because the Venezuelan article that we're probably going to go to first, Melzie, is in regards to Venezuela, voting machines, drug cartels, and the whole thing. We do have a so one of the, you probably know, well, I'll let you talk about it. We'll read the article and you can break it down for us. But that one fellow that they arrested is singing like a bird right now. So it's kind of breaking news for everybody. Also, there's big investigation going on as we speak about Minnesota and the Somalias fraud, all the fraud that's going on there. There's already been 78 people arrested.
Wow.
Money laundering in Minnesota through the Somalia community. And that's Ilhan Omar, who married her brother, supposedly, who Trump has been calling out over the last several days. And he called them all garbage. It's time to remove the garbage, get the garbage out of our country. And I mean, this is going to get hot and heavy really soon. We'll talk a little bit about that.
We spoke about that a few weeks ago too, where it said, I think it's something like 25% of Somalia's GDP or something like that.
It's freaking horrific, man. Like 50%. Like Tim Walz, that's the Tim Walz governor, right? That was the guy that was running with Kamala Harris up against Trump. Remember, before the 2024 election? I mean, man, you cannot design a movie any better than the one that we're involved in right now.
And
the greatest show ever.
I think Tim tried to put a hit out on a Senate member, and
Tim Walz,
Tim Walz.
the crazy one,
not you.
Because we did lose. I think we lost a YouTube video to him saying if they execute him, if they do whatever happens, whatever they decide, whichever option they went with already.
Yeah. And then what else? There's another article we're going to break down too. Of course, we got 13 Q drop deltas today. We'll go through several of them. There's one real big juicy one at the end, obviously concerning in regards to the Democrats and the decon, right? All that stuff. There's a couple of Democrats now that are intertwined and being investigated for dirty money laundering through an individual by the name of Reid Hoffman, who is tied to, guess who? Epstein. Yeah. And Trump called out Reid Hoffman last week at the White House.
Specifically.
Yeah. So now we've got I got that news article. We'll break that one down. Nice. Something really funny happened today during that pipe bomb press conference with Bongino and Cash Patel and them. Well, just when Dan Bongino went up to the podium, Cash brings him on. Fox News they were airing it. They went off air. They didn't want to show Dan Bongino and what he had to say. And of course, Dan handled himself really well and had some powerful things to say. So if you missed that, please go back and check that out later.
Now, did Dan ever actually work for Fox?
Oh yeah. He was part of Fox News, and then he went on his own, right? Yeah. Right. Pretty interesting stuff. And then what else? We forgot to mention it yesterday. This was kind of breaking news yesterday, but the House Investigative Committee has subpoenaed Jack Smith. The guy, what did they call him?
Special counsel.
Special counsel. Yeah, they're going after him hardcore now. He was subpoenaed.
What was his specific mandate too? Because it was under Biden. It was another special counsel on Trump. But what was it? Was it about the election or January 6th, or what was it about?
Well, he was going after Trump, right? He was part of right after the.
But for what though? Like, what was he asked to investigate? Was it for about January 6th? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it was part of that, and the documents, the classified documents.
Oh, the Mar-a-Lago, the August 8th Lionsgate
That's correct.
raid on Mar-a-Lago. By the way, the president has the authorization to declassify anything.
That's right. Yeah, and then of course some more breaking news before Q School started was DJT, the boss, 41020. Brought and signed another peace deal along with the Congo and Rwanda. So the
peace.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, 9 for sure. I think 10's going to be Ukraine and Russia, right? I think he was sitting at 8. The peace deal today is 9. I think with the African countries, those 2 countries that have been going at each other for 33 years or something, I guess. Anyway, that was on live this morning. Also, they had a nice presentation. They all had something to say, and then 2 of them held up their the documents that they signed or whatever, the peace deal.
Oh yeah.
And the third guy from I don't know if he's from Rwanda or Congo. I can't remember which one was which. He was just sitting there holding up his black folder. He didn't open it up. He was just holding it. It was so funny.
He's like, you don't get to look at it.
Oh man, it was funny. Yeah, it's like the guy wasn't all there, obviously, but
I was just thinking Talladega Nights, and he's doing. I don't know what to do with my hands. I was all excited to be there.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be there.
So as you can tell, it's been a pretty busy day to start already. I mean, it's a crazy week. It's been a crazy beginning to the month, right? The new month, December 4th, and what is this? Our 18th week, right? Yeah, week 18. So we've covered a lot of information over at least the last couple of days. We did a short week last week, week 17. I think we only had 3 shows. But if any of you missed any of our shows, go to Melzie's channel, Hammer Time Rapid Fire Q News on Rumble. We were going to send you to YouTube, but I guess that got knocked down yesterday. Sorry, Melzie. But we'll get that back up and running. But if you missed any of our shows, just please take some time, maybe this weekend, and kick back, relax, bowl of popcorn, and get caught up with some of the things that we've been busting out.
Yeah, and then hit the like, guys, button, everybody out there, and if take it and then repost it somewhere if you could. That'll really help us get out and get exposure. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
thanks, guys. This is the Rumble channel. No matter where you're watching, we're out on YouTube right now, X, Instagram, Facebook, and Rumble. So, y'all, if you don't mind hopping over here and following just in case, because Rumble is the most uncensored platform we've had of any of them also, too. So, we are thankful we're on Facebook. We're thankful we're on Instagram again. We're thankful we have X also and YouTube, right? But it is the most uncensored. So, head on over to Rumble. Just put in Hammer Time, and you should be able to see the long one, Hammer Time, Rapid Fire Q News with the military Q patch right there. And then here's all of our previous shows in one nice spot for everybody to find. And you can also search different topics and stuff, too, because Melzie's done shows for years even, too. So there's other stuff on here. 107, we replayed our thing with Tina Peters, or that Mel and the girls did with Tina Peters and 107. There's just so much information here if you guys are looking for it. And then it's crazy as I scroll back to the 3rd or 4th page now. These are all just the daytime shows.
You know what's nice? Leave that picture on. Leave that right there. Leave the picture just like that. Like if you want to look at how Melzie, how creative she is and how beautiful. Look at the beautiful imagery of that board right there. I mean, if you look at I go to a lot of Rumble channels, guys, to see their shows and stuff. there's no other. I haven't seen any other platform out there that looks as beautiful as this one does, with all the different colors and stuff. So Melzie, fantastic job on all your artwork and everything. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Especially doing that kind of stuff every day, you know what I mean? That's not easy. So, I mean, obviously you get good at doing this stuff, but it's always impressive, all the different animals, all the different time you put into this. But
That one
special thank you
is
to
Venezuela right there.
Where's that? Right here?
The ocean, that one.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh,
Venezuela.
wow. Yeah.
And I was gonna just for fun, I'm gonna show like how much crazy stuff we have in here. Let's go to this up. Let me pick a random episode just in case, and let's see what happens here.
Oh my gosh! What?
I knew about it. What I knew was this one.
This is an exciting time.
Check this out. Okay, now we can double check all the timestamps. Here's what's crazy about this one is it's the Eastern time is 3:03. So I think Trump comes out at 7 after. So that would have been Melzie was in Mountain Time. So I think that would be 10:07.
No, 11. That was 11.3. 11.3 for me.
Right. Okay, for this minute, but when he opens the actual door, when Trump comes out, it's like 7 after. So I'm actually going to skip a little bit because I'm pretty sure he doesn't come out yet. We're covering something. We covered the old Q drop. Also on True Social, there's a Q at Q follower on what should we call it? Let's see here though.
I love that side-by-side picture too of the two airplanes. That's so cool.
Do I have it muted still?
Yeah, it is.
He is. He knows what it means. He knows what it means.
Oh yeah.
Matt's excited.
Okay, turn the volume up. Let's hear what they got to say.
Oh yeah, I don't have the volume.
Here we go, guys.
Comes Putin out. I wonder what time it is in Russia.
Here comes the bear. We got the boss and the bear.
The boss
Let's
and the
go.
bear. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Talk about
History
great
books.
memories. Great
Look at
memories.
11:07 right there. There it is. I want to show us. So 11:07, he stepped out. Who made that comment for us? Thank you, by the way.
Bear.
The boss
Let's
and the
go.
bear. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So, we haven't seen Cece in a while. Cece from Alaska. So it's 11:07. This is the interesting thing. I think 11:07 Alaska time. That's right. So Melzie was Mountain Time. So he stepped out at 1:07 Melzie's time, and then it's going to be 3:11 for Tim in Eastern time, and it'll be 11:11 for me Alaska time. So this whole thing is so crazy, especially that we're at 3 different time zones altogether. So watch the time because it'll be in Eastern, and we didn't catch it in the moment. And for anybody that hasn't seen this too, by the way, you might not tell because even Melzie didn't understand in the minute is when I'm streaming the live stream, you hear the jets on my output. But what you'll hear then is a ring in the microphone because as the jets fly over Trump, then they start flying over me and you're hearing them on my microphone.
The B-2 bombers.
Yeah. The stealth bomber, the actually microphone rings for a second from the playing the live stream and flying over me for 1 second. For a split second, it rings. So y'all see that. Watch the timestamps. Listen to what Tim says. I'll maybe pause one more time on the red carpet. No less too historical moment. And again, thank you. Y'all might see some of your old comments in there. I think Jedi has a comment. Some other friends that were there in the moment too. History books. These are just some of the things we've been doing along the way. So celebrating with all y'all. Love you guys.
Oh man, I got chills, you guys. I got chills.
I just got them again from that.
Oof. Red carpets. Let's go. Like this is gangsta style, brother. I mean, you can't get any better than this.
Right?
Oh my God.
Tim's got the best commentary.
That's right, Matthew. Oh, what a beautiful time to be alive, son.
Yes, sir.
Matthew's really enjoying this moment. I think he's enjoying it more than you and I, Kyle.
Right? He is. He knows what it means. He knows what it means.
Oh yeah.
Tippy Top Crew, no less. I had the
Oh, this
hashtag
is so
Tippy Top
cool.
Crew. Didn't know what was coming. Got the briefcase.
Yeah. That's right. History books, Highlander.
Oh, Highlander was there.
Amen
I haven't
for
seen
that.
Highlander in a while. Everybody seen Highlander? Let's call Highlander back into Rumble.
Hey, Matthew, look at the boss and the bear. The boss and the bear. The boss and the bear. That could be the B-2 Bomber too. BB, Boss and the Bear.
Ooh, Boss and the Bear. Nice
Awesome.
one. Power move there too. Some people have broken down some of the stuff. The power move, how Trump is on the spot already, waiting for Putin to come into him. He greets him and then he pulls him in close. Did you want to add anything on that, Mel?
Yeah, I think we talked about that. It's exactly a power move.
Yeah, right on. All right, so then we're gonna walk down the red carpet. I'll say it right now because y'all want to search it out. It is not. I don't know what to make of it. We've had a lot of comms and connections with our Q team, Alliance, Trump, all these things. So let's see how many Q jobs have "here we go" in it, because Trump says "here we go" and then I say "here we go." You think about a nuclear launch or something special, you have to have two keys turn it. Tim says "here we go." I say "here we go." The second I say it, Trump begins his salute. I talk about Kim Jong-il or Un in the North Korea visit, and then I say "pretty big deal." He ends his salute, and then the second Tim says, "let me say familiarize with a Q drop." The second he says Q, it goes 11:11 Alaska time. It'll be at 3:11 Eastern time. So y'all watch what happens in this 1 minute play out here. Definitely a size discrepancy. I don't know if it's always been like that. With Diggers, what's Putin's height supposed to be? Yeah, Q school chills is right. Listen up.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenny. Here we go.
Here we go. Not quite the same. It kind of reminds me of when Trump, was meeting Kim Jong-un. Kind of a big deal.
Wow.
It's time.
And let me just familiarize with the Q drop that says, "What if China, Russia, and POTUS are working to eliminate the NWO?"
That's Q Job 140 that the special envoy to Russia took a screenshot of and posted on his X account. It was specifically China highlighted, or Russia, highlighted. And then they also had a meeting with Trump's cabinet very recently too. Hope y'all paying attention. Right? All right, here's the flyover. They look. Also, this is another power move. You got this world leader and our classified highly technology that they don't have is flying directly over him, and Trump just casually kind of looks over his shoulder, right? Catches Putin's attention. Trump's like, no big deal. That's another big power move there. All right, watch the flyover now. This is the tippy top type of stuff.
Keep that in the back of your minds.
The jets flying by. That's on the recording. The live stream, excuse me. Oh, I can hear the jets. Oh! I don't know. I got the noise cancellation on. Flying directly over the top, right over the top of me. I wish I had my computer out there. Oh, we got a double flyover. Double flyover. Let's go. Man.
I got chills. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible history books. What a great memory. Thanks for resharing that. I forgot to show everybody one of my favorite shirts.
Oh, look at that. 34, and it's got Matthews on it.
Yeah.
So we got biblical references and his boy Matthew. Matthew spells it differently, but super awesome, especially because Matthew Q's 94. White hat 94, simple gematria. Why is 34 significant, Tim?
Sorry, what's that?
Why is 34 significant?
That was the Q Clearance Patriot Q Drop 34, sir.
Q Job 34, Q Clearance Patriot, and again, also simple gematria DJT adds up to 34, or 17 plus 17, or Q plus perhaps is 34. And then Q Drop 51 signed by the White Hats also. So really cool shirt. Oh, but then something Jesse Waters announced him. They said 34 of the, I can't remember what it was, but it said 34. So I was like, oh, Tim had the shirt on. So
nice catch.
yeah.
Right on.
Definitely.
All right. What a
Oh, and one last thing about that. Hold on, is the crazy. If that wasn't crazy enough, we had the double flyover because I was in Alaska, so I made it know. But we actually predicted the location prior to it being announced publicly, or knew a classified location. Actually, if you watch the recording, I said, Q Team told me. And then Tim even asked me to double down the next day. And I said, okay, yes, the meeting will be at J Bear Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, the military base. I just had a hankering, a feeling. A Q Team told me prior to it. And then the beautiful thing is CNN puts the story out finally on Tuesday evening and says it'll be at J Bear. We were the first to report the location. They specifically say that. Like, you don't even see that in articles. I feel like that was White Hats like laughing with us, like, because we are the news now. And then Tim had even called it prior. Tim said they will meet during Q schools because we just started this daytime stuff. Tim said specifically they'll meet during Q school. Again, there was none of this had been announced yet. We get the triple onslaught of whammies of all of them because not only does Putin, is he going to go meet at J Bear? Now, they didn't say specifically he was there, but the place people visit and stay and officers is on 17th Street on the base, and it's called the Q House. What? That's real. Really? That's real. I'm getting chills again all over.
So that would be the show before the clip you just showed. So we got back-to-back days, right? Those two. Like if you guys list any of our previous.
No, that would actually be even 3 days back because that's Friday, 8:15. So it would be. Let me just show them real quick though. Okay. This is for the Susan Calloway, Brittany, all you guys that cut clips, Apex, all you guys. If you go back to the right here this week. So 8:15 is that what I was just showing. This is when this is the day, and you can check out the dates yourself, guys. August 15th is the day that Trump met Putin. That's why we also started making sure that we had our little date stamp with the Q School thing every day, which is cool because it's literally Q School proofs. And I just saw maybe it's Brittany, somebody they said it was like, you could tell maybe the AI made it, but it said a clock can only tell time, but timestamps are the truth. Ooh. A clock can only tell time, but timestamps are the truth. So think about that too. Every Q post has a timestamp. I'm getting chills because no matter what, when that becomes future proofs past, the timestamp is the truth, right? Clock will just tell you what the time was.
That's part of like the future too, with what we're going into, that everything will have kind of, like a code, a QR code or a timestamp, so there'll be transparency with everything.
That's what the money, the quantum financials. Oh, see, everything is all timestamped to verify the transaction and the contract. Wow, that's interesting.
But if you go way back, like there's 222, there's that show.
I'll bring it back up. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you kind of go way back.
I didn't want to distract us. Go ahead.
I want you. Would you mind?
Okay, yeah, the 222. Because then also, Tim had mentioned. So let me for the people, the recordings though. 8:15 is the actual flyover right there. So that's when Trump actually and Putin met. But then, you could even see because before the weekend. Right here, 8/8. Oh my gosh, it's on 8/8. That's super crazy. Tim told me on Friday that Trump was going to be, or Putin was going to be coming to meet in Alaska. It was just announced Alaska. Alaska is obviously a big place. I was like, okay. And I had a busy weekend. I'd been doing football season started for me, so weekends were super busy.
And that was that's the anniversary of the Mar-a-Lago raid.
Yes, 8/8. I know and that's called the Lionsgate portal, like because it's you're in the Leo the constellation, so your Leos that are born in August, so it's 8/8, so very significant date. And I believe even on, no, it was 2022 when they raided Trump, so it wasn't. Anyways, so. Where's I going with this? Okay, so then Tim tells me all weekend I'm super busy, so we come back Monday, and I ask him. So I ask him wherever it is in this. It might even be on this timestamp right here. Let me just take a look. I guess since I probably would be left on that spot. Let's see. Let me just.
The bear.
Oh wow! Detected. Base J Bear. It's called J Bear. All right, here it is. Look like where would they?
You found it.
So wow. Here's Monday's about 14 minutes. Let's see what Tim says. Based on what it is, but he gave some really important speeches to the military guys back then. Yet about that?
Mid-morning.
Oh yeah.
Like
we're doing it. Yeah.
I can't see them waiting all day. It depends on their travel arrangements and stuff too. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Did they actually say a place yet? I know they just said Alaska. Alaska's a pretty big place. So any other details yet about that?
I haven't heard the actual location, but we
You know
will
what?
find out this week.
I just got the intuitively because Mel was even saying like, yeah, presidents don't go up to Alaska very often. They don't. Trump's very first administration, I was in Alaska, and he came at least 3 different times. Specifically, there's a joint base here. Joint. It's called J Bear Joint. I think I might be wrong about the 3 times. Some people asked them, did some other digs for us and stuff. I definitely decided to have a rally. Trump's only rally ever in Alaska. I was there for that. So he came a few other times. But anyways, I'm basically, Tim's calling it right here. He was explaining what happened over the weekend, and I'm asking if they knew. And I was like, oh, intuitively, Q Team. I think I even say Q Team told me it's going to be at J Bear. This is August 11th, and you can see the CNN doesn't announce until August 12th that this classified meeting is going to take place on J Bear. So here it is. And then Tim doubles down on me the next day to make sure, like, you're gonna stand by it. He'll say it right here. It's really cool. Called a joint base because there's 2 different branches there. I'm spacing what it is, but he gave some really important speeches to the military guys back then, early on in the Q days. You know, like we were like, oh my God, this is legit. You're paying attention. And then he came and did a rally here. My first rally I ever saw Trump at was in Alaska. That was really special. But right when you said that, I was like, where would they meet? I'm trying to think, but that would actually make sense on the military base. The military base might be. Yeah.
So your guess, so you can say it live, and we'll have it recorded. What's your guess right now? Where do you think?
So I'm gonna say the military base, J Bear. It's called J Bear, JBER, J Bear. He came a few times in his first administration. I love that. So again, that's August 11th. If you go August 12th, we double down on it because Tim says, "So you're gonna say it again?" I'm like, I even got more confident. I'm like, yeah. It's going to be at J Bear, and then later in the day, CNN reports on it, and then confirms it. But the craziest thing is the CNN article also says that we're the first to report the location, and I said it's going to be there. And then he stays on the 17th Street at the Blue House, no less. And then we have that flyover, and they fly over. I didn't get it on film, guys, but the B-2 bomber flew directly over where I was broadcasting. Less than 3 seconds later, and I said I'm less than 3 seconds. Dan, and good thing Jay caught this. Hopefully Jay's watching. Is Dan Scavino put out his only 2-second video ever? So he just trumped me by going to 2 seconds, and he does. And there seems like there's classified technology in that. If y'all want to ask the Jay about that. There's some really interesting. It's quick, but I think there's some classified technology released in that. And then the 17th was the commander's prayer at 1:57. So that was all I could handle before the walls started caving in on the tiers and all these things. But it's been a magical journey so far. So thank you all of you out there for being there with us. It's been quite a ride.
Awesome. So thanks for doing that, because now if anybody missed our previous shows, those would be 2 good ones to watch back to back.
Yes.
So what are the dates again? August 11th would be
August 11th. We'll go back and then we'll show some timestamps too. Has some really interesting timestamps on some of these, and then I think Mel wanted to show us a couple of the different shows there too. Am I sharing the screen here? What am I doing now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is August 11th. So let me go back one now. So August 11 is the Monday after this weekend, and so later on, again, you could on this 8/8. Tim tells me that Trump and Putin will meet Trump in Alaska. And then Monday is when we do that first prediction. The second predictions is August 12th. And then it's probably at this time stamp too. This one, it was around 13, 14 minutes on August 11th.
2:13.
Oh, yeah, the timestamps, the full timestamp
And then
too.
we
there.
have the 2:22.
Look at that, 2:13s back to back, 49 and 36. Our timestamps are really odd too. We weren't planning all these.
Right.
And then this one is probably, let me just see what time. This one's probably right about where we did the same prediction. This one's at 16, 17 minutes. So probably around 15 minutes. It takes a second to load up. I guess that this one might be when that was, but y'all can look through there if you want. I mean, I know it takes a little time. Oh yeah, that's right there.
You're showing it right there.
There it is. Let's just see how because there's the second prediction. Let's just do it real quick here. And I show, kind of dox myself. I joke, but you never know where I am. I say, look, it only says 4 miles away. We're keeping the British ships out of one of the bays, or multiple, protecting them.
That's gonna be Thursday's show, by the way.
We're gonna do that Thursday. So, anyways, and the other one though, I said, where is he gonna meet at? Nobody, it just says Alaska. Alaska's a big place. And then right in the middle of it yesterday, I was like, you know what? Maybe he's gonna meet at J Bear. That's the Joint Base Elmendorf. He went there about 3 different times, if I remember, when I was living in Alaska in his first administration. This is what it looks like right here, Joint Air Force Base, Army and Air Force Base, Elmendorf. It's called J Bear for short because it's Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson is the full name. So J Bear, and we're talking about Putin riding the bear on different
Boss and the
what do you call it,
bear.
memes and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. 4 miles away. I don't know about that. Who knows?
4 miles away. Bring us up on the side. I got it. All right, so there's another one. That was the timestamp 1630. That's the August 12th episode, and then we do bring up the CNN article would be on August 13th somewhere. Look at that timestamp. Look at these time. Oh, I'm getting
Yes.
chills because we didn't intend some of these.
Yeah.
This was 2 hours, 22 minutes, 21 seconds. And the very next one, look at that, Mel. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 12 seconds.
Wow, mirrored.
222 seems to be popping up in some different gematria.
And my original name is 222.
Yeah, Mel's
Oh,
original
no kidding.
name is 222. Yeah, I don't think nobody really talked about that. So that's pretty cool.
I'm getting more.
Sean's got a special one.
Crazy.
What?
I'm just getting
Shout out to our brother Sean, by the way. He's back. Hopefully he's out of the hospital, but send some prayers out to him, guys. We asked for prayers the other day. He had to go back to the hospital. I think maybe he's out. I don't know, but he's got some situations. So send some prayers and love for our brother Sean on the digital. In our digital battlefield, even though we've all met, but send some love to our brother. He's been fighting hard. So
yes,
Love you, Sean.
Love. Thank you, manager.
Just showing like some of the other shows.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Marilyn
Marilyn wants me to show a couple of the older shows on Hammer Time Cut too, guys. That's why we were talking about the Rumble channel. All of our recordings here, it's Hammer Time, Rapid Fire Q News on Rumble. Rumble's just like a YouTube alternative. So rumble.com. You can be on your phone. They do have an app, but it works fine on your computer, your cell phone, just regular in the browser. And then again, all of our recordings are here and they don't censor. So we're going to show our loyalty to Rumble. We can actually get more viewers, it seems like, over on X. Thank you guys for watching over on X. Please follow my account at Quantum Healer, but it's Undercover White Hat on X if you're watching. But hop on over on Rumble. Follow our Rumble too. Help us grow that channel. We appreciate it. Hit like if you're watching wherever you are, guys, and send this live out to people you think might be interested because we don't have any backers. We're trying to do the best we can, and we're just on the battlefield here. So we got nobody backing us. So if y'all send the lives out to help us grow the channel, we definitely appreciate that. And we had the ticker on earlier. We'll put up again a little bit later other ways you can help support the channel. We got some swag or just again where to find us, following us. That all that stuff helps, guys. We appreciate it. So, anyways, there was those dates. August 11 and 12 are the predictions, and August 13th we cover it because and look at those timestamps. If that's not divine, the August 13th we show the CNN article and how they specifically say that they said the time first, and theirs would have been in the evening after I made my second prediction on the 12th. And then the 15 was the flyover. Anyways, then all kinds of stuff like that happens. So here's some the older.
Go back to like 10.
I'm gonna go back right here. So even we were doing evening shows right before that. There's a cool one too with me and Jay. Our Promise to Counter. Thanks Jay for always popping in. We love you, brother. Also, all the other people in our Q School family, all you guys, especially the diggers on the chats and everything you guys do. Cindy, Brittany, Susan, Jedi, all you guys. I don't want to leave anybody out. And there's some of you guys. Thank you guys so much, Scott, Amy, plus.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
so we're gonna go back a few pages, show some of the older work that Melzie's done. Also,
Well, we did some shows together too.
yeah, I mean lots, and then we've done a
Yeah.
lot, even just this last year, especially. There's tons of stuff. These are
We did some shows
Saturday
with
night
FCB,
ones.
so I was on FCB for a while, and so Kyle and I did a series of shows. Like these are one we did with Mountain Mama on Boots on the Ground, Mark Cook, Rachel. We had some great interviews, and yeah, you'll see. Keep going.
There we go, Michael
Okay,
Tellinger.
so then we did the Pup Project.
Pup
and
Project.
Tim, if you don't know, Tim was an organized all of us, united us all together, and we would do different chats every night. And so I had Hammer Time and MelzieKaye's Mind. So I did different topics that, are a little like woo-woo or fringe, like monoatomic gold, Grace Kelly and JFK's love affair and different things that I've researched. Michael Tellinger's a big thing. I'd contacted him about doing a Ubuntu project before the pandemic. And so that's a big thing on my heart. And also Kyle's is to create community in that way. And then we did, with FCB, we did some, bigger shows that were kind of fun. They were really tight shows together. I think that's it right there. The Monoatomic Gold and the Elixir of Life. And then the Battle for Technology. If you go one more over.
Right. Yep,
Yeah.
right there.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
So when she's referencing FCB, it's a bigger channel that Melzie had the opportunity to be underneath and have some other sub shows. Something we basically want to build here on Q School too. Other people want to have different shows and stuff. In the future, we have such brilliant anons. Y'all got such creative abilities. You got information inside you need to share with the world. We'd love to be able to help you out in the future too. So if we want to keep building Q School, so that's what Mel's referencing is. We had exactly an hour. And honestly, like just being full disclosure with all of us, we're really good at what we do. We've done it so long, but we do really good shows when we have time to prep ahead of time and get everything together. And that's what forced us to do that. When Tim and I first started Q School, we only had 2 hours, and it started exactly at that moment, and then it ended at that moment. So we wanted to get as much done as we could. So Tim always, had a layout, and we try to do that sometimes, but we're so good we can kind of flow with it. But it did make us good in different ways. And same thing, Mel had 1 hour here on her show, so we would prep the night before and things like that. And Mel takes even longer. My mind's really good on kind of organizing things to put it in order, but she spent hours prepping on these shows and putting things together, and then we get all the graphics together. This is the stuff it usually takes to do like an hour-long show is 3 hours of prep work, maybe, or more, depending on how much. It was a lot, because
I would put the timings in. So I only had an hour, and I had to and I had to coach a producer for me and Kyle. So we'd have to be on the same page. And so Kyle and I would prep before, and then we'd do these shows. So they're special, I'd say, because they're research that are important to me, and then Kyle kind of helped me co-host into that, because it's really hard to present alone, especially to hard topics that because you think everybody else knows it. And so it's good to have somebody that doesn't know what you're talking about and kind of questioning you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And thank you to Melzie. Look, there's back, I just gotten back on my feet after the house fire and had to go back with family and all this stuff. And so thank you, Mel, for getting me out there too on different shows. And because I never really like being on camera so much and pictured and stuff, but we've been called to do what we need to do.
We've all kind of grown and learned together. Look at all
our brother
work.
Sean. There's Sean.
There he
and
is.
Where's this guy, man? I've been trying to call this guy Jonathan, our Canadian brother. I don't know if he's in South America or where that son of a bitch is, but I'd like to see him again, chat with him. But anyways, and then here's Sean. Send him prayers. He's got some health things going on, so we love you guys. So thanks for being part of our journey with all of us. Thanks for letting us Mel share some of her older shows on the Rumble channel. She's put a lot of time and effort in that.
If you do go further back, you'll see Hammer Time, and so Hammer Time's kind of where this all originated with Adriana, Age we call her, and Jilski. And so we did a lot of interview shows with Juan O'Savin and Lloyd Brunson and Tina Peters, all of them. Amazing shows, really. So.
And here's the one. Am I sharing the screen? The one that we showed a couple times there. Lloyd Brunson, Tina Peters, and Juan O'Savin. We're all on together with the girls, Jilski, Adriana, and MelzieKaye. So they've done a lot of awesome stuff. Here's another one. That's Q School, Juan O'Savin. Oh, you know what? This is when we actually did this in the Q School chat. Oh, this was right, because this was Pup Project right here. We're still Pup Project.
Before Pup.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but we did it over on Q School anyways.
After we did shows, we would come in and you guys would play our shows. And so then we'd come in and kind of talk about it and answer questions. And so that's kind of when we really started
I feel like, I don't know if you remember this together. Though. One time though is like we came into Q School though, actually. Remember this, Tim? And through Telegram, I thought that's why we were streaming.
You were streaming
the Rumble, something like that, because when Juan was talking, I was able to share the screen and just show what he said.
We did a show with Juan.
Oh, okay.
With Juan and Renee and.
No, I know that, but I actually first time did it here because Jilski was like, that was really cool that I was like showing what Juan was talking about, because usually Juan's just showing like his boots and stuff or whatever. So, anyways, we're gonna have Juan back on here at Q's Camera Time, Q School, right in the now moment. So we will have him back on. I think we'll do that when he's talking. I might zip around and
you see the little Christmas one right up there. Okay, go up. That little Christmas one's like. Okay. 3 minutes.
45-second one?
Yeah. And that one is real cute. If you want to do it, show us, us girls.
Look at the date, 12/22/22. Wow. And that wasn't there a timestamp or something with Trump recently, 12/22.
Hammer Time girls, I've been thinking, all I want for Christmas
is to have President Donald J. Trump to be the Speaker of the House until his reinstatement as president? Me too.
Me too. Me too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That's wonderful.
I've never seen that before.
For Christmas is here.
That was cool. I never seen that. I know Mel was excited. We got to send that to Adriana too. Also, cheer her up a little bit. Maybe you can send it to Jilski. That'd be a cool thing to do. Mel, that was the laser. And if anybody doesn't understand some of the things that were in play, again, moves and counter moves, is there was talk of Trump becoming Speaker of the House there.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually no requirement. You don't have to be in Congress already to be nominated as Speaker of the House, which is really odd. Anybody wants to maybe look that up on the research? Has anybody been become Speaker of the House that was not in Congress? I'd be curious if I'm sure there's probably some out there, but that would be interesting. And the talk was, okay, maybe Trump becomes Speaker of the House. At first, I heard that originally right after 2020. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wasn't really, thinking too much about it. But then in 2022, after Mar-a-Lago and stuff, it was making a lot of sense to me. And I even kind of mapped it out for our friends. I said, it would actually make sense now, like playing out, because I knew it was going to take longer. I knew it wasn't going to happen quickly. Tim and I were already talking about, we talked about that Q job that says the next 6 years also for a while, since at least 2022. And that one's from 2019. So that was going to at least 2025. Matthew Q. Hello, brother.
Hi, Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Love. You're muted, Tim. There we go.
Yeah. Hey. Can you say Trump? Say Trump.
You, Matthew.
Trump.
Trump. He's got the Thor shirt on for Thor's Day. Love, Matthew Q. Beautiful boy.
All right.
So where are we going? We'll finish that, then we're getting back into the new stuff. So thank you.
Memory lane with us.
Yeah, thanks for
sharing that.
Letting us show that. And then also too, the great example for anybody out there, you never start out at 100%. You never stop. You gotta just start, right? So it's probably interesting for Mel to see herself in the older videos, or even me to watch older video. Anything, you watch your stuff. You're never perfect. You just gotta get out there and do it. Now we have all this, and we've added over time too, right? When you build on something and you build on it, then it just keeps getting better and better, right? From all the way back, Tim. We weren't even sharing screens, right? We would just put the drops on there. We're only on the voices on the Telegram. Then we started having our own channel, sharing the screen, and it was only me at first. Then Tim was able to start sharing the screen. It was hard at first, and now he can bounce around all really pretty well, and he can run Telegram chats and all this stuff, right? And we have this built up of knowledge and skills, and especially with the restream, the graphics and stuff too. So that's just a nod for all you guys. We want to build in all these magic things. It's not going to happen overnight, right? It's not meant to be that way. We're going to build our relationships with and while we build our country and the world over, start all over, right? From brand new with everything how it should be. Should's maybe not the best word. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the thing what's going on. That's
well, what I want to say is what a beautiful example of working together it has been. Like, so Q School, like I jumped in and, I don't know, the second time you guys were on Telegram and you opened up, and I just wanted to like learn about what they were saying. And Tim and Kyle, you two, you both have just been like pillars in this whole movement. So thank you for what you've done and all the hours you put out and sacrifice. Love you guys.
You.
Love you too. Thank you.
Love.
Thank you. Love. I'm so glad we met. And if it wasn't for this movement, the Great Awakening, we never would have met. And if it wasn't for the Q drop, we never would have met.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible, the whole journey. And I was going to suggest maybe, depending on what your schedules are like, but, having this Rumble platform that you got, over 2 years ago now, right? You got a hold of this Rumble package.
Yeah, I think it's been more than that, because when we started doing shows, 22.
2-3 years now.
Yeah.
So maybe because of the older videos, and just to refresh everybody's mind, maybe go back in time, like especially with the holidays coming up, or
play some.
Maybe just let it roll, like do a matinee, maybe just let
Like
it.
what you do with the Q School TV, what you do on the Telegram when we had, our Telegram channels and we had voice chat became, you could share screen or even yourself. So we started sharing documentaries and stuff. For anybody who doesn't know, kind of, again, Tim, we found each other in 2021 we all, everyone got kicked off the different platforms. We landed on Telegram by design and then the voice chat started, but that was 2021. Then we had our own channel in 2022 where we were sharing a screen all the time. And just kept going from there. So all these different hours and things we've done is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is. It's beautiful. Like it tells us to not be divided. And there's such a, I think with humanity, we've learned to be divided. So to come together and have people put down, all their things and just be united together in one heart, that has been what I think Q School has done. And more than anything is just brought a community of Anons together. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Melzie. Thank you.
And thank you all out there too. All of you are part of that team and a part of us. You're a piece of us. And so it's a beautiful thing. And that's why we encourage you to get onto Telegram, is because we go there and we hang out together and we talk, and we're good friends and we know each other and lift each other up. Sometimes we're having bad times. You're really there for each other. It's an amazing experience that I never would have social media would have brought me to.
Oh man, I got a story. You just gave me chills, sister. So speaking of Telegram, you guys know I haven't been on much in the last 3-4 weeks, right? Like very sporadically. Well, last night I just happened to bounce into Super Truthers. That's Brother Adam's program, Telegram channel, and Brother Ryan is the one that opened it up, and that was the only channel that I saw that was open last night, and it was after I tucked Matthew Q into bed. So I was kind of bored and sipping on my bevy and said, I wonder what the gang's up to. So I go in there and I go on one of my beautiful little rants about how far we've come, where we're going, where we're heading, and I brought everything. And then Christina came in, brought in Peacekeeper, Brother Peacekeeper, and I reconnected again. I talked about our show yesterday and how we missed them because of the Hindenburg Q drop, right? Remember the Titanic and the Hindenburg. So we got into a really good conversation. Then I opened it up into the Christmas memory conversation. There was about 35 of us in the chat, and everybody took turns reminiscing about when they were a child, what it was like growing up during Christmas season, like what was your favorite memories, and everybody had there was a common theme, and that was the families getting together and just sharing the love with each other, and the presents and the caroling, Christmas caroling, and all those were the common denominators. But then we had a sister come on, Tammy, who was really struggling last night, and she was almost in tears because her son was in the hospital because of a drug overdose, because of a breakup. He was going through a real bad breakup with his wife, and there's children involved in this and stuff like that. So a big separation thing. He pops a whole bunch of pills, tries to kill himself, get him to the hospital. He's healing in the hospital. And because she came in right when we were right in the middle of the Christmas memory conversation, it kind of just stunned everybody. The whole chat kind of went dead quiet, and we started praying for her, and then we tried to pick her up, build her up, and say, listen, we don't want you to be alone during Christmas. I know it's tough. You're going through a tough time. I told everybody that I would open up my Telegram channel during Christmas for anybody. I do it every year anyway, for people that are alone or not with family or friends or whatever. At least we can communicate and talk to each other during Christmas. So we got into that conversation. And then there was another lady on. Her name is Debbie. She very rarely comes on to Telegram. She just happened to be in the channel last night. And oh man, I got chills just thinking about this one. I'm going to break it in tears. So Tammy's struggling. Debbie pipes in and she says, listen, guys, I just want, I don't know how it got to where it got to, but this Debbie says to Tammy, she says, I guess she catches where Tammy lives. And this Debbie goes, well, I live in the same town. They act.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was talking about, I was trying to pump everybody up with Magic Christmas, right? I always said Christmas is magical. Whether you want to believe in it or not, magical things happen. Good things happen. And sure enough, this Debbie pipes up and she says, guys, I got to tell you, I don't come into these, like once a month I come into these channels. I just happen to be here tonight. And Sister Tammy, where did you say you were from? And then Tammy tells her, and they get into their own chat, and we're all sitting back listening. And sure enough, they live within half an hour of each other in the same town. And now Debbie, and what they did is they exchanged their phone numbers, and now they're getting together for Christmas, and they're going to go Christmas caroling, and they're going to go help some of the elder communities, because that's what Debbie does every Christmas, right? So now Tammy has a newfound friend in this movement because of this Telegram chat. I couldn't freaking believe it.
Wow.
Like, I got chills just sharing.
Yeah. And a purpose and a mission and a partner that's like-minded. And that's what I've been saying, y'all. There's confirmation. I kept saying, who's going to put a Craigslist ad out there for your local area? Q meetup or something, right? There's even a Q job with that. Maybe I'll show that because I bet a lot don't know about that one. Where finally somebody put, hey, Q meeting, and Q highlighted it. It was in a different country, but they had a Q little meetup, and I've been talking about that. So I guess I haven't done it myself. So maybe I'll put a Craigslist ad up and then challenge y'all to do that. But I was just talking about that, and there we go. We see it happen in real time on Telegram. All you gotta do sometimes to ask. Right?
And I was up really late. I was up till almost 4:30 this morning in that chat. But
don't tell us that, Tim.
I know. Yeah, I'm dragging my tail a little bit today. I'm a little tired today, but it was well worth it, man. I mean, like, for those two ladies to hook up like they did. I mean, people were in tears last night. Of course, there was a lot of prayers, and we kept on with the Christmas magic cheers and trying to build everybody up. And I know it's tough for everybody. I mean, this particular lady that was in there lost 47 family and friends since 2021, guys. And she says they all got vaccinated. And I mean, the whole conversation was gut wrenching. It really was. And we're trying to find a way to build up this beautiful Tammy, this patriot that's alone and struggling. And, and it was tearjerk. It was hard. And then all of a sudden when this Debbie came on and basically the magic of Christmas just came across the screen. And so while they were getting to know each other and everybody's hooting and hollering and cheering them on, and look, now we're looking forward to them getting together for Christmas and Christmas dinner and all the things they're going to be doing. I just happened to do a little search on YouTube for a song called Christmas Magic. And sure enough, the very first one that popped up in the search, Christina played it for us. Christmas Magic was the name of the song. So we played that for the two ladies. And here we go. Two newfound friends are going to spend Christmas together, you guys. Incredible.
Wow. That's so beautiful. The different connections and things too, because I can see all the different sides of that too, right? Where, like, especially I know a lot of y'all been like on a solo journey healing. It's kind of part of the process, and then you start learning stuff, then you get more sensitive stuff. I didn't like going out in public, and sometimes I don't want to be around people at all. But it's different when you're connected with like-minded people, and sometimes you got to take that little step, right? Sometimes then we start building walls around ourselves too much in isolation too. So, but it's way different when you're finding people that are like-minded, that are good-hearted people, that are fun, that are optimistic, all those things, right? And it actually uplifts you to hang out with people instead of draining you too. So I encourage y'all to start making some connections like that too. And I'll try to do my best to do the same and not isolate so much, but I appreciate having all y'all around too. So I love you guys.
Amen. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you because Melzie, you kind of jogged my memory on what happened last night, talking about these Telegram channels and how valuable they are, how important they are to make these beautiful connections and build friendships, right? And that's basically what the whole movement's about. And the added bonus to it is that we get to learn from each other. We get bigger, better, and stronger and more courageous because of the information, because of the knowledge that we've gained. And that's why exponentially the movement, the Great Awakening, has spread throughout the world. And that's why you're seeing the crumbling of the old guard, the destruction of the old guard. We're seeing the people of the world taking their power back,
There's a Bible verse that goes like, if I had all the wealth in the world, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, or, so if we have all the knowledge, it really doesn't matter if we're not united, right? So united in love. And so if you have all the wealth of the world, but you don't have love, you have nothing. And so I think that's what I never expected that the Q movement would bring me into this place with all of you. and to become one together in heart and mission and all of that. And that's been, I think, the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said. Thank you, Q. Thank you.
Thank you, all you guys out there.
Yeah.
Love. It's a really special time. So it's a beautiful thing. I trust y'all appreciate when we have these little moments. Like I said, each show is a little different. We always talked about that a couple days ago. Tim and I, we didn't hardly share screen. We just riffed, but everybody loved it, and we've been flowing, I think, pretty well.
Cindy asked, "What Telegram channels are we usually in?" Maybe Melzie, you want to list off like 4 or 5 or 6 of them? Go ahead.
I'll put the ticker on. We don't have like a time before. When we did the pup project, we knew where we were going to be, but after the pup project, we kind of just would open up different chats and people will go into whichever chat. There'll be several chats sometimes going in. So but a lot of times there'll be one chat and people go into it and then everybody's there, so go in and jump into chats and meet people. Don't be afraid to open your mic and introduce yourself, because we like to know that there's not a shill or a troll on the other end. So that's you'll get into it, what you'll get out of it, what you put into it, I would say.
But and also I think they're very comforting and understanding too. So if you're new, you probably can kind of listen for a while.
I'm just saying, open your mic and say hi. We
don't be
like
shy.
that.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. But yeah, and then especially if y'all watching a live stream, and let us hop in the chat. Let them know Tim, myself, or Melzie.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just say Q School sent me. Q School sent me.
Yeah.
Q sent me. Q School sent me.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I don't know how we changed the conversation from this beautiful right into the dirty D's done dirt cheap, because we have a lot of stuff to cover here, guys. I don't know if we want to make this
right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do we just
I think there's those 3, it looks like 3 clips that are about 5 minutes each on the news things that we can stop in between and add, but if we can maybe knock those out, and then that'll kind of transition, and then we'll hammer all the news stuff and try to wrap it up in less than 2 hours if we can, or close to it.
Well, we'll try, but if you go to Diggers, work your way from the bottom up. Let's work our way up, because there's some good articles, in regards to the title and some of the breaking news that we promised at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
And thanks for thanks everybody for listening to us and hanging out with us. And I hope that you got good vibes, high vibes, especially in this Christmas season that we're entering. It's going to be tough for a lot of people, unfortunately. And we just want to let you know that no one does this. No one's going to be alone. We'll make sure of that. Between myself, Melzie, and Kyle, and so many others in this movement, there's always going to be somebody there ready to spend time with you. Okay, online. It won't be face to face, but it can be if you bring your face onto the screen, that is, in these Telegram channels. But we'll make sure that some of the chats are open for you guys to come and join us during Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas chat time.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for all the nostalgia. We got to play the flyover, the Trump Putin meeting in Alaska on 11/11. I guess we got excited in the moment again. Tim said at 11/11. Then that Q drop gets shared by the special envoy to Russia, who's doing other Q drops, but that one specifically that Tim happened to say that exactly at 11/11 Alaska time. And then so it was 3/11. And think about that, the full circle. That's right. That he comes off of Air Force One at 1:07 Melzie's time. He's and then the flyover is at 11/11 Alaska time, but also 3/11 Tim's time, or 11/3 mirrored too. So we got all the major combinations of things from the Q drops. Because if you haven't seen that, the one Q drop says, "What are the odds of Trump meeting Putin on 11/11?" And that Q drop number, I think it's 2397. I got to double check, but it was the tail number that Air Force One had on their flight that day too. So and there's one.
I'll go even one step further. That 11.11 is a Q drop that talks about red wave or red tsunami, and the 11.11 is the military law of war manual. So there's a lot more, and don't forget the 3/11 or 11/3 think mirror. The actual midterm election in 2026 is on 11.3, guys.
Dang.
Yeah.
And Tim, if you remember farther back, our very first recording ever on a cell phone, I did on the cell phone, so it's the vertical, and it was January 17th, no less, same day Eisenhower gave his speech, but it was called White Squall, but we covered the red wave drops, which have the 11.11. That's when I first started seeing the Q drops for quantum. Like, dude, this is talking about this midterm coming up. And that was the 2022 one. And now here we are full circle. It's happening every day, the same kind of thing. So pretty special to be involved with all that.
Yeah, and especially with the big things that are happening behind the scenes. Again, I'll just remind everybody that whether you know this or not, all the voting rolls are being cleaned up. All of the U.S. census is being, the population census is being reorganized and cleaned up. They're removing the mail-in voting system. They're going to paper ballots and voter ID. And they're trying to take away the machines, or at least make sure that they're not corrupted. They're going to put safeguards in it if the machines are being used and such. Like, that's the heavy lifting part. That's what the Trump version 2, administration 2, is doing behind the scenes, to open the door wide open for we the people to get out and vote our asses off and get the America First candidates in there. And Trump, as we get closer and closer to midterms, will remind each and every one of us, if you're following him on Truth, he will specifically tell you who to go vote for. This is all orchestrated. It's all set in stages. It's all one domino, vote for this person in this area, this person here, that person there. And we are going to take a full maximum majority in the House and the Senate because of the efforts of all the patriots and all their efforts around the world. And we've got some breaking even today. I mean, there's I've got an article that we'll cover over that one, Kyle. It's about the voter rolls right now. There's like 20 some states that are being sued by your government, by the Trump administration too, because they don't want to hand over their voter rolls. I wonder why. Because they're a mess. But because they're being
he's suing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like,
well, that's big, because I want to at least add that part, what you're saying, because I can even say as an American citizen, having the vote stolen, actually it's the only time I voted, but then and then these special elections felt kind of foofy, that I know there are some patriots out there like, come on, we can't just vote harder, right? But it is important to show up, get involved. Yes. And then the other side though too is to also be involved, like in the election as a poll worker, but also cleaning up the voter rolls, pushing for voter ID laws in your local areas, and hopefully it's going to get passed nationally, of course. But the more that you make those movements heard, or share those graphics that we've shared before too, and those are in the Q drops even too. What do you need for it? What do you need to show an ID to get a fishing license, an M-rated video game, everything else, a car, this, that, but it's not considered racist, right? It's so absurd to say. And then all these other countries now that have voter ID, they've had for a long time voter ID, but somehow America doesn't. It's totally absurd.
But
right?
that's all changing. This is the stuff that's going to be changing, folks, and it's going to happen really quick. I mean, we're less than 11 months away from the midterm election, right? So, now's the time to get involved. Every day we're going to remind everybody, get involved somehow, some way. They need door knockers. They need people who can make phone calls. They are texting. You want to text. This is the mass effort of the red tsunami, incoming red tsunami. It's only going to happen because of we the people getting involved and reaching out to other people and saying how important this election is, and that it's your God-given right to vote. Make sure you get out and vote, and make sure you pack your car and bring people to the voting poll station and become a poll watcher, become a ballot counter, be part of the whole operation, be part of it, and help change your country into the right direction, because the white hats, the good guys, the alliance, they're doing the heavy lifting behind us, for us, and giving the power back to we the people. So let's take it once and for all and change the world.
Like you said, but that's the key part. It's not going to be done for us. They've done all the hard work. They're waiting on us. It's not the other way. We're not waiting for the military to do something. The military is waiting on us. So this is the last step. You didn't come here to be a fly on the wall. You didn't come here to spectate. You came to this world to participate, set it on fire, create something new, show the world something new. Be involved, guys. You'll feel better about yourself, and you won't be like stewing off other stuff. You have a purpose. Move forward towards something. If you don't know what to do, come help us out.
Yeah, and if people are wondering where to go to Turning Point USA. They have it all set up for you guys. They have all the different areas around the United States where they need volunteers. So you can just basically go to Turning Point USA or Real America's Voice. If you go to their website, there's going to be little click boxes for how to get involved in your 2026 midterm election. You basically click on that, find out what area, like if you're in a certain area, Where do you go? Who do you contact? Here's the phone number, blah, 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 blah. That's where it starts. It starts with taking action, and you guys can all do that. I know everybody can get involved in their local communities and their areas and pitch in and help out.
Yeah, and our own Scott's out there in Colorado, does a lot with the election things too, guys. So if you want to try to reach out to him, he's always very helpful with that. He's sharing some of his info for y'all. Any interested in that, Scott? Maybe we can get you in Telegram sometime soon, and we could even do like a presentation, or on, I guess, Restream too. Maybe a little presentation on things people could do in their local area to get involved. Something like that. You know, no pressure, nothing, but just to get more information. But great information there, Tim, to point people to Turning Point, because some people just don't know where to go. So then, boom, Turning Point's got all this information. You can do this and this and this. There's other places. Part of it, again, is just asking. The other part's then just taking the next step. So thank you for those resources, Tim. Appreciate you. And all the amazing people in our chats too. Y'all can connect with each other. If you have other questions, help each other out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, like that. You can Google it too, like Trump Force 47. There's different organizations that are built specifically for the voting drive, you know, to get people, to get patriots locked and loaded together in all the different areas. And, you know, it's kind of like getting reorganized, right? Because we have been so unorganized over the years, and everybody flying off their, you know, trying to do their own thing versus, you know, coming together, unifying, like Melzie said, you know, we come together, work together as a machine, and we'll pull this off in great style. It'll be a red tsunami, kid you not. And that goes back to that Q drop, that 11.11 that you reminded us of.
Yeah, definitely. And can we play one of these video clips first to lead in before we go to the article, just so I can use that?
Which one are you looking at on Diggers? You mean?
Yeah, Diggers. I see. There's this
Solomon,
the Bannon and Solomon. Yeah. We can do this one first. All right, let's jump into it. Here we go.
So I thought there would be an arrest.
We'll be right back, guys.
This week they were zeroing in on a gentleman whom they arrested this morning in Northern Virginia. And the way this case was cracked was about a month or 6 weeks ago. Bongino, who was the lead on it, and Patel decided to take the old agents off the case and put a new team on it. Now, there was a little resistance, as there always is in the FBI, to any form of change. But the new team came in. They applied some new ideas, some new technologies, and some of the evidence that was sitting right in front of them with fresh eyes was followed, and it was able to be led to this gentleman who they arrested a little bit ago. We don't know much about his ideology or his intentions or his motives yet. And one of the things that FBI officials stressed with me this morning is that this is really the beginning. The arrest is the beginning of trying to understand how this operation was conducted, who's behind it, whether there are more conspirators or whether this is a lone wolf. Still all of that to be determined, but a really extraordinary effort. Almost 5 years later, with a fresh set of eyes and a different approach, the FBI that couldn't solve the case for 4.5 years solves it. Very much like the way the Charlie Kirk investigation occurred in the first few hours. There were a lot of FBI agents in old guard that didn't want to put the suspect's photo out, but Kash Patel and Bongino insisted that was going to be key to getting the father to flip, and they put the photo out, the father flips, and of course you get that arrest as we see. What you're seeing is a different mentality in the FBI, and that plays out in two different ways. First, you see successes that we haven't seen in a while, lots of arrests, cases solved that had not been solved for a long time, other cases which could have gone on for months being solved in 33 hours like Charlie Kirk's assassin. The second part is it results in a lot of whining from FBI people who think they know what's better. And you see that even in the Miranda Devine story earlier this week. You've got these grousers and grouchers because the truth of the matter is Donald Trump ordered Patel and Bongino to break glass at the FBI. They broke glass. And now the FBI is doing things differently. They're succeeding. But there are people who want to focus on the whining and crying, not actually the success of what the FBI has been doing. The way they solved this case was fresh thinking.
Here's what kind of strange credulity. In 5.5 years, and Dan comes in with Kash, but Dan finally gets tired of it, puts on a new team. Yep. And I understand it's a fresh set of eyes, a different perspective. But it doesn't strain credulity to think that the original FBI team was really, and this is the problem with all of J6. Were they part of the problem? Because, to say that Bongino and these guys came in and in 6 weeks cracked the case is fantastic. But you sit there and go, particularly you see a lot of these former whistleblowers of people trashing Kash every day. Yeah. Is the building just still adamantly opposed to Kash, Bongino, and President Trump?
fewer and fewer people are opposed. There are even people that were opposed at the beginning, like this guy's just a talking head. He's not an FBI agent. And then you start solving cases, and people are like, oh, damn, hey, this is working. We're getting bad guys off the street. So there are 2 or 3 dynamics going on in the Bureau. The first is there are people that are still the deep state, and as Kash Patel and Dan Bongino find them, they throw them out, or they twist them in a way that they're required to show us what the deep state did the last 6 or 8 years that we didn't know about. Early on, there was some question, why was Kash Patel keeping certain people behind? Because those people wanted to keep their pension, and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino wanted to know what really went on, and they squeezed those people to find out what the dirty secrets were that existed from the Wray and Comey era, and that's how they found the burn bags, and they found all that stuff. So you have resistance. That resistance is growing less. The resistors now move to the outside. This report that, I think Miranda writes in the New York Post, it's an anonymous whistleblower report. It's kind of weird to have a study that doesn't have any names to it. But a lot of those people are gone, and they're grousing from the outside. Inside the building, the people that remain, there are new people coming in that are showing a new wave. Success is breeding trust. And all of a sudden, you got an FBI that's doing things. And there's a lot of unique things going on inside the FBI. It's remarkable to think that we've watched the Ukraine and Russia war take place, and all of these small drones creating incredible lethality, and have an FBI in America that until just a few months ago didn't have a counter drone program. Just think about that. Now there's a counter drone program. That's a major change. Agents who realized what a big change it was, they like it. Those who didn't like it don't work there anymore. Similarly, they're using artificial intelligence to sift through evidence and to reanalyze evidence in a different way. Hey, we got phone records, we got credit card records. Are there some connections that our eyes didn't see? And I have a funny feeling when we're done that this new team that was put on there will likely have used some technology and some new capabilities to reanalyze the evidence in a way humans couldn't, and maybe find that nugget or two that led them on the path to this bomber. But I think that's what's going on. Listen, there's a deep state everywhere still in America. There's a deep state, as Liz Truss reminds us, all across Europe. They're alive and well. If they're not inside the Bureau, they're causing harm outside the Bureau as angry anonymous sources and news media. But the truth of the matter is, when you look at the Bureau's capability, I've covered the FBI for 35 years. I've covered this building inside out. I broke out a lot of the big whistleblower stories of the last half century, from Oklahoma City and the FBI lab to 9/11, where I won all those awards. This is a different Bureau. It's functioning differently, and it seems to have gotten back on mission a little bit more. There's still partisans. There are still incompetents. There's still resistors and deep staters, but the ship is starting to turn, and over time, more and more of the resistors are going to get thrown overboard by the wake of what's going on.
John, we want to hold you through the break, and I got Mike Davis, Julie Kelly coming up also. You had a big, give us a minute on this scoop, at least the headline. You had a big scoop last night on dark money and some of the biggest senators supported by the biggest Trump haters.
That's right. So Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn, one of the biggest funders of Democratic elections in the last 10 years. There was a debate that came up last time Pam Bondi was on the Hill saying he's not a dark money guy. He's not helping the senators. The Justice Department did an investigation at the direction of the president and reported to the Senate last night that Reid Hoffman was routing dark money through different groups, and that some of the senators on the Senate Judiciary Committee, people like Dick Durbin, were the beneficiaries of that money, a major black eye to the Democrats, who often say they're against dark money until you find out.
Dirty D's done
We're going to talk about the implications. Also, I got to ask John about Minnesota. Massive scandal. They're throwing that President Trump is a xenophobe, a racist. President today has at the Oval Office later for a
a xenophobe, a racist, all the things.
So that's good. So the next article, going to the bottom of Diggers, is that first article John Solomon's talking about. Maybe scoop that one up quickly, and we'll blast through that one. The Dirty D's,
okay.
They're cheap. That's Reid Hoffman, dark money. This is how they operate, folks. It's all coming out.
Okay. And this is where Trump's also laying out the groundwork. What's coming next? So if Q doesn't do it, Trump's doing it, right? He was talking about Gabe Hoffman just a little bit ago. All right, so
all the way down to the bottom, brother. Yeah, and Solomon hit a beautiful Q drop too, which reminded me of the 99% are good, 1% are bad. Remember that Q drop where it talks about the FBI, DOJ, CIA, and all the three-letter agencies. 99% are patriots, 1% are bad. Just keep that in mind.
Right. So right here, DOJ alleges Democrat senators benefited from dark money from mega donor Reid Hoffman. Attorney General Pam Bondi's team responded to allegations she falsely accused Two Democrats are benefiting from a prolific Democratic dark money donor with ties to disgraced financier Epstein.
Row.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, let's see what Democrats are involved in it. Scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, this site has a lot going on, and it's not loading quite right.
Oh no!
So I might refresh it. Here we go. Okay. The Justice Department alleged in a letter to the Senate on Wednesday night, the Democratic mega donor and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman has funneled dark money through his network to benefit two U.S. senators who portray themselves as crusaders against such unaccountable contributions. Let's see. The probe into Hoffman and his political donor ecosystem was spurred by a letter from Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley.
Trust Grassley. Another Q drop right there, folks.
Republican from Iowa, following the October 7th, which is 17 in there. He dropped the zeros. October 7th testimony of Attorney General Pam Bondi to the committee. In exchanges with Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, the Dirty D's, captain of the Dirty D's.
It actually lines up with the title today. That's funny.
The committee's top dirty dick Democrat, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat, Rhode Island, over the Epstein files. Bondi confronted the senators and accused them of taking campaign donations from Hoffman, which both later denied in a letter to Grassley. Hoffman's ties to Epstein, who died. I got to bring this up a little bit here. Hoffman's ties to Epstein, who died a disgraced financier and sex offender, were previously reported in early 2019. That year keeps coming up for us in different ways. Durbin, Whitehouse, and 9 other Democrat senators accused Bondi of deflecting questions about Epstein files while falsely accusing Durbin and Whitehouse of receiving campaign contributions from Hoffman. Allegedly. We'll see how this plays out. Quote, Bondi sidestepped questions about her role in the Epstein cover-up by falsely accusing ranking members Durbin, Senator Whitehouse. This is their quotes, right, from the Democratic senators. That's what the criminals are saying. They're saying they didn't do anything wrong. Imagine that. But the Justice Department's letter says publicly available evidence shows Durbin and Whitehouse have indeed appeared to benefit from the largesse of Hoffman's political contributions to PACs and campaign committees. So there you go. They can lie about all they want, but we have the proof. It's in the pudding. We always bring the receipts, so there's nowhere they can hide. So there it is. That's about that shit there. Indirect financial support. All right, so there's that article. We'll go back into Diggers. So there, the bottom article. Should I do? Which one we gotta do
let's
next?
bring Melzie into play now. This is the whistleblower. Melzie can probably maybe read some of this article, and then Melzie, you can fill in the gaps for us and paint a picture. This is about Venezuela again, and the voting machines and the cartels.
Yep. All right, let me bring it in here. So.
Okay, ball game. Top Venezuelan officials turn state evidence on voting machines and drug war. So this article was on December 4th, 2020. A guest post by Patris.
2020?
25.
That's like Tim always catches me when I
think that I'm on the 2020 thing still in my head. Okay, in an explosive development that connects multiple national security threats, Hugo Carvajal Barrios, a former 3-star Venezuelan general and director of military intelligence, has issued a sweeping confession from federal prison that validates President Trump's aggressive stance towards Nicolas Maduro's regime. So, wow, that's pretty bigly, huh?
Yeah. So let's see. I can read a little more if we want to go into Carvalho's testimony arrives as Trump administration escalates military operations against alleged Venezuelan drug traffickers. We've seen some of that in the opening video also too from Haydon and Jesse Waters. Watch the Waters cover that, with the president announcing this week that strikes will soon expand from maritime targets to land-based operations. That's a big step. We know every route. We know every house. Trump declared Wednesday. Let's see. Declared Wednesday, signaling imminent actions against narco-terrorist infrastructure. The timing is significant. Carvalho's statement reveals the Venezuelan regime operates as what the general calls, quote, the cartel of the suns, end quote, state-sponsored criminal enterprise designed to weaponize drugs and other tools against America. That's what we're up against too, guys. These cartels and stuff you don't understand. And they found this stuff out from other money laundering, even like the SNAP benefits. They were those people were also money laundering to the cartel. And this because they're open to money laundering, illegal activities. And somebody did a really good breakdown. It was probably a year plus ago in the anon community. It'd be hard to maybe find. But this guy gave a really good breakdown saying that what they're doing with the money, and if understanding too, helping people understand if we go to the digital currency of some form, then the last people that were using the cash will be the criminals. And then they can funnel them into a network where they're kind of like they trap themselves, so to speak. And if anyone, again, resistant to the digital stuff too, I understand not wanting to be tracked, but you guys understand your debit card already has a tracking chip in it. $100 bills, the blue strip has the tracking chip in there too and stuff. So, but when we have a true, currency, how it's going to work, where you're actually still private, it'll work much better. But with the money, though, if we never actually get rid of money, you can really never end human trafficking, drug trade, plus guns,
inflation, central banking system,
especially for sure,
right?
But just specifically, even like paper money,
sure,
is doing the criminal enterprises.
But I mean,
absolutely,
the paper money is part of it.
Like because they can just print it.
Endless
it's
printing.
A notice of debt. So we covered that pretty well yesterday. Yeah, great point. Great point. All right, so let me go. Anything else? Let's see if there's anything from this article. Scan through it. But
further on down, it talks about the voting machine. So maybe carry on with it. It's a good article. Yeah, powerful.
Okay. Carvalho's statement absolutely support President Trump's policy towards Venezuela because it is in self-defense and he is acting based on the truth. The regimen I serve is not merely hostile. It is a war with you, using drugs, gangs, espionage, and your own democratic processes as weapons. President Trump's policies against the Maduro criminal regimen are now justified, but necessary and proportionate to the threat. Who's Carvalho? What's his title? Let's see. That must be that
military,
guy. Carlos Barrios, former 3-star general, Venezuelan general, and director of military intelligence, but former. Okay, so, all right, let's see here. Wow, since 2021, over 250,000 Americans have died from overdoses, predominantly from fentanyl. The general confirms these deaths are not collateral damage from ordinary trafficking, the result of a deliberate policy coordinated between Venezuela, Cuba, FARC, I'm not even sure what that is, ELN, and Hezbollah. FARC, here it is, Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias de Colombia, and ELN, Ejército de Liberación Nacional. Okay, basically some Spanish gangs. Hezbollah, based in
Lebanon. This is the part you need Melzie to read because she could say it.
De Colombia.
Right. Hezbollah is based in Lebanon. It's a shitty Muslim political party. It's Shiite. I can't help it. Sorry, my number. It's Shiite. Militant group, social movement. Anyway, so these are basically terrorist organizations. Let's see. Here it is. Perhaps most alarming, Carvalho directly addresses election security. Okay, he states unequivocally that Smartmatic, a company whose technology is incorporated into Dominion, ESNS, and HART Intercivic Systems, was created as an electoral tool for the Venezuelan regime. All three tabular systems are used in Michigan elections.
Whoa. Michigan. Think about that. Think about what all the shenanigans in Michigan.
Well, I think it is. Tabular is used in Michigan elections and nationwide. I think it's true.
Okay. All three tabulars that, again, were originally created through this. Okay, Smartmatic.
And so they probably, I don't know, maybe they had to have the data in some place, so offshore. So maybe that's, they could switch the data in Venezuela. I'm not sure with the Smartmatic machine.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. And look at the next paragraph is pretty powerful too. I mean, here's the statement that's very powerful.
No, you can hear us, Tim?
Yeah, I can now. Yeah, you're good now.
All right, so I placed the head of IT of the National Electoral Council in his position, and he reported directly to me, Carvalho revealed. So this is, again, the former military intelligence, former general in Venezuela. The Smartmatic system can be altered. This is a fact. And I think we've done a great job of that. We probably haven't done it for a while being like a week or so, about some of the election stuff we've shown from
Peters.
Tina Peters, all the work she's done. Professor Clements does an awesome job. Let My People Go is an awesome documentary about all the election fraud and how bogus and silly it is. Mr. Truthbomb has tons of great videos about election fraud. There's so much stuff, but we'll keep showing this as we go along. But y'all got to speak up too and talk about it. Let's see. While careful to note that he does not claim every election is stolen, the former intelligence chief warned that the software has been used to rig elections, straight up from an official position in another country. He said the Maduro regime regimen operatives maintain current relationships with American election officials and voting machine companies. And of course they'll say it's because it's where our operating system is. Same shit is something with Serbia. It's either Smartmatic or Dominion has like a base in Serbia. They're based out of Serbia and they have Serbian employees. Like, let's get real here. Right? Carvalho's confession also exposes the Tren de Aragua gang as a deliberate export of Venezuela's state violence. Again, state violence, state-sponsored. Oh, that was the other part I wanted to add when I broke in about the gangs and the cartels and how they're using money laundering, but then they also own the government, right? Or the military of that country. That's like cartels are the military of Mexico. And that's why Trump has to essentially almost declare war on them because they have operated that. But since they're not technically government, they're kind of outside of the war. They're actually a terrorist organization, but has backing in the government. It makes things super complicated. And that's why Trump is also having to do some of these things here. Let's see, Carvalho, he witnessed firsthand how Maduro exploited open border policies to flood America with gang operatives who continue operating under the regime's orders. Okay, the regime. There's the guy, PNP agents guard. This guy was recently arrested, right? 15 members of this gang here, criminal cell. Tren de Aragua, arrested in Lima, Peru. I know Scott's out there in Colorado where they got some of those gangs took over the apartment complexes, right? All right, last bit here. The general's conclusion is stark. The regiment I served is not merely hostile, it is at war with you. Talking about Venezuela. His full-throated endorsement of Trump's military response, calling it justified, necessary, and proportionate, comes from an insider with intimate knowledge of the regime's capabilities. Talking about Venezuela. Trump has labeled various drug-linked cartels as narco-terrorists this year, a move that enabled the U.S. military to target drug smugglers as it would ISIS or Al-Qaeda members. Remember, guys, 250,000 Americans have died from overdoses since 2021 alone. You talk about all the dumbass numbers from COVID and the horrific stuff of wars, but this is killing real American citizens. And quite frankly, I don't know the stats, but it's a lot of them are being your younger kids too. Young Americans are being murdered by the droves from heroin and fentanyl on our streets.
Yeah, and of course the dirty D's are the ones that are defending these drug cartels. I mean, that's why these are the certain issues and things that, like, people as they wake up heading towards those midterms, that's why we're going to have a fucking red tsunami like none other. Because when people finally wake up and realize like what the Democrats, what they're backing, and you know who they're defending, I mean, it's going to turn their stomachs. They're going to feel sick. They're going to, especially if they're a Democrat and voted Democrat most of their lives or all their lives. When they actually find out what's really going on and they see the picture like we see it, they're definitely never going to go back to Democrats again. I mean, the Democrat Party's done. It's finished.
Done. The dirt deep done.
Yeah, the dirt deep done.
You know, I think that's it. Sometimes you have to show the people. And so I never knew this, like how deep it could go, but it makes sense. Again, like, where do you launder money? And so if they're shutting everything down in the Ukraine and their ability to launder money in that direction, then it kind of makes sense why, you know, the seditious six was coming out and trying to call and tell people not to uphold their oaths and to go against their superiors and not obey orders, right? So that they could continue on and create like some kind of internal war with us.
More division tactics.
More division. Yeah. So big things could be happening. Like, we can understand now why it's an act of war. If you interfere with our elections, it's an act of war, right? Because that affects, like, look what we went through with Biden for 4 years. And it's like a nosedive. We were flying high, going high, and then it was like, you know? So I think that we had to be shown that dash matters, right?
Dash matters.
Well
Vote
said.
with a dash at the end of it. 17 Q drops on QAG. Vote with a dash at the end. I still don't know how you found that one, Tim. But that's pretty cool.
I keep digging. That's all. Just dig, 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 folks. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Dig, dig, dig. So thanks, Mel. Anything else you want to add to the Venezuela stuff before we go to the next topic, which will be the
energy, like energy. So, you know, I mean, it's more the Venezuelan prisons were the worst. They were the worst. The stories that we would hear, I don't know how anybody could survive anything in there. And so gangs are a piece of like Venezuela because you have so much corruption that that's how like the people in the poorest places can survive. And the police are corrupt as well. Like everything is corrupt, like just like here, right? But it's worse.
Yeah.
It's worse. And so Trump, there was a picture that I have that Trump is the liberator of Venezuela. And it's really significant to like for me because Simon Bolivar was there. He was Bolivar. He was their Simon Bolivar was their liberator of like all of South America. And he was kind of like their George Washington. So Trump, there's a picture, and I think it's like from the Homeland.
Did they execute him? Is he still alive?
Oh no, that he's like 200 years ago.
But
he
I see. Okay, you're taking us back. Okay, I got you.
Right, he was like their George Washington, and they have a picture of Trump. I'm looking for it right now. Hold on a second. In I think it was Homeland Security or some Homeland. Let me look. They have a picture of President Trump as a liberator of Venezuela. Here it is. U.S. Homeland Security News. So whatever that is.
We're not seeing what you're looking at.
I'm going to push it in. Yep. Okay. I just had to find it.
And by the way, too, there's the cabals everywhere, guys. Too, right? That's a great point. Is they're trying to we're trying to eradicate them from everywhere. So that's part of it.
And there's David Clement too. He wrote, there it is. So this is, he's pictured like Simon Bolivar, and that's a Venezuelan flag. It's also the Colombian flag is very similar. And he's Viva Venezuela Libre. So he's imagine that they told us that we're going to go and help our brothers be liberated, and our sisters around the world. So we're going to liberate ourselves first, and then we're going to go around and help. But in order to liberate us, we have to be released from the ties of the cabal, right? The cartels hold. And so Venezuela is one of the richest places, but it's been impoverished. It has gold, it has oil, it has natural resources, it has, 1,000 miles of ocean, so it should be highly prosperous. And instead they've kept the people in poverty. So it really is liberating, I think, of all South America. And us. So this is David Clement. Venezuela attacking our elections through the installation of rigged code is an act of war. There is no greater undermining of a country's sovereignty. Yes, Congress's role is to declare war, but the president does not have to wait for Congress to get their shit together in rebelling an invasion, digital or real.
Repelling. Yep. Absolutely. No, same thing. No, repelling, kind of the same thing.
That's perfect. Thank you, Dr. Clements. Yeah, we appreciate those
Professor Clements.
Specific words. Yeah. And I mean, that's the Article 2 powers of the president, right? That's what Trump's using right now.
Yes. He's going to show us what a real president is.
Yeah. Right. Let me finish up just one quick thing about this important, the fentanyl, the whole thing too, in case people aren't familiar with this so much either too. So, the general, again, the former general military intelligence leader, Carvalho, said the regiment I served is not merely hostile, it is at war with you. All right. So when he's talking about the full, he called the war that Trump's military response is justified, necessary, and proportionate. Comes from an insider with intimate knowledge. Okay, Trump has labeled various drug cartels linked as narco terrorists, just like Al Qaeda. Okay, I read that part, but check this. Look at here. Here's the key part I want to add about the fentanyl thing. Is it the precursor to it that you can't make the fentanyl? The only way you can make fentanyl is with the precursor, which is made from China. And I'm guessing they designed this thing, which is in itself is a biological weapon to warfare. This is biological warfare from an enemy country. China did that, launching that with COVID to even just ruin our economy or kill us. us all the things, then make money off it. And then same thing with all this biological warfare is the heroin, but specifically the fentanyl. The precursors are made in China. And so that's a big thing to block, because if you can block that, you can't really make fentanyl. And fentanyl is just a super nasty thing. It can be, it's really great for hospitals. It can be used and when it's used properly, just like everything else. But in the street drug, it's like powder form, and people can just touch it and die from it. So then it's also, then you can have nefarious people doing stuff like putting it on things that aren't drugs. You know what I mean? So it's super effed up. But this is a big deal. And then think about the Q drop we read, where what if Russia, China, and others are working together to eliminate the NWO. So that would include Venezuela also, right? It's every country around the world. So we're all linked this together, but it's pretty crazy that how this ties in right here. So during a recent trip to China, Trump negotiated the discontinuance of China's export of precursor drugs necessary for the production of fentanyl. Trump and President Xi agreed to a 1-year trade truce, So that's a huge part of it. Is it couldn't be made without that too. It's one that interesting working in connection with China, and this is some Trump's kind of pushed for, because he says China does it. Is they have anybody drug dealing is the punishment is execution. You get killed for dealing drugs. We couldn't do that in America yet, because so many people had to survive in that kind of industry. The system was rigged against us, but we'll get to a point where, again, he wants to get rid of that stuff, and maybe it'd be your bigger top tier drug dealers. But the crime Trump has pushed for a while wants it to be capital punishment for the drug dealing, and we can't.
You can see like how it's all kind of coming together. Like Trump kind of preps everybody, for all the things he'll say something. Like some things are years in advance, like the Epstein files,
seeding our consciousness,
talking about 9/11, talking about Obama's birth certificate when no one else would.
2015, that's pretty wild.
So you can see like how. I think that they're showing us that something's going to be happening. And then we look at Tina Peters too. Like Tina Peters should be freed, right? If this has been an act of war where we know that there was election fraud, and there are rogue agents, like maybe within our government, that maybe had her arrested and put into jail as to be kind of an example to not do this, right? You better shut your mouth, and this is what's going to happen to you, right? The thing that made her so dangerous is she was, I think, running for some kind of state seat. And so they didn't want her to get in there and then to be able to have a voice and have power, right? So they took her down and put her in, and she's a political prisoner, a war prisoner right now. And so does the president have, the authority to go in possibly and extract her out? And I think that if we're going after Venezuela, they most definitely do. So maybe we see some big things happening. That's what the video that we listened to, I think it was it Bannon alluded to it, right?
Think of Christmas miracles, sister. Christmas miracles.
And Juan talked about it. I personally don't think that would help the situation. I think that'd be a little more extreme. So there might be. We'll see what happens. But yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Moves and counter moves.
It is. We don't know anything that's going. They're never going to announce it. But I think that seeding the consciousness, and then maybe the government people are like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what? Say what?"
Yeah.
Well, the key is to get her out of the deep state prison she's in and move her into her federal prison. She's in a state prison, which is run by the deep state, by the dirty D's, right? And what the Trump administration and the lawyers are trying to do is move her from the pit of hell and bring her into a much more acceptable environment as far as prison is concerned. And if that switch does take place, she now becomes a federal witness. She can become a witness to the crimes. So they'll like,
and that's maybe the exact reason they need to go in and rescue her.
Right.
Because she is a witness to this,
exactly.
A key witness to this, and very important. And her life is in danger in there.
Yeah, it is.
Not just from her health, but from possibly other things that, how it works in there. There's probably cartel people in there, right?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I don't know those game plans and how to work out, but I do trust the plan, and I do believe we're going to all free Tina Peters. So I have the number on the bottom, you guys. If you could all take time today and just make a call to the White House.
Movies 4, 5, 6, and 11, 11 right there. We broke that down on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, right. 4, 5, 6, 11, 11. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 14, 14. Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
thank you for all.
All right.
those
So in the
insights.
interest of time, at the bottom of the wall,
Yeah.
we're going to stay with the election theme, and then we'll go into the Somali takeover of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we do have Mike Lindell, the Mr. Pillow guy, is going to be running for governor against Tim Walz. Just that's breaking news. Also,
Somebody mentioned that in the chat. I think I can't remember if it was on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram. Amy,
we'll find out
probably
December
watching.
10th. December 10th is going to be the ultimate revealing day for him running.
Okay. Oh, and then I had one more thought. That's what it was. Melzie nailed it by, again, he's like seeding the consciousness. And we've talked about this a little bit, how the White Hats have done that too, right? Like breaking the curse of the cabal is we're seeding the good stuff that's coming to y'all and start making you believe it. And it's coming around because it's still going to be so wild to accept and stuff. But Trump does that a lot. He says something, and like Mel said, sometimes years in advance. But he was just talking about Venezuela, and now here we are. We're in the Venezuela situation. What was he just mentioning? He did mention Tina Peters, but something just the other day, and now it just happened almost, I think, today. What was it? Anyways, y'all know.
Reid Hoffman. He mentioned Reid Hoffman.
And Reid Hoffman. Yeah. There's another one. Yep. And those again. That's actually the one I was thinking of, Tim, because that's a big deal, because now that's being investigated by the DOJ. Yep. So he's leading us along, just like the Q drops too. So
and don't forget about the professor. At the same time, when he mentioned that professor, I forget his name, but he was the one that basically apologized to his classmates. He's the college professor, but he now has been kicked out of these certain charitable organization, charity places that he was involved in. They don't want anything to do with him anymore. He's going to be left out on the streets, this guy, because of his ties to Epstein and because Trump called him out.
Okay.
I forget the guy's
name.
name.
Other stuff. We see the other guy, Michael Dell, of the CEO of Dell Computers, donated $6.25 billion for 25 million American Children's Trust Funds. So that's a big deal too. With all that, we showed that we talked about that yesterday.
I did do a little research on the wife, and it seems like they were tied to some NGOs and stuff, and Bill Gates. And so I'm thinking it's a redistribution of wealth.
It is. Definitely. We talked about that. Peacekeeper and I talked about that specifically last night. We broke down and we talked about Venezuela, how the regime Maduro is being controlled by C_A and the puppeteers. Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of the string cutting that Trump's doing. The military, they're going to cut the strings. They're giving Maduro a chance out. Like you remember how they dealt with North Korea, right? North Korea was held hostage by the deep state, and they freed Kim Jong-un. And then they did the same thing with Iran. Iran was being held as a hostage with those nuclear capabilities, and of course the B-2 bombers went in and took care of business. These are cutting the strings. Like, this is how they're taking down the big dogs, the big cartel leaders, right? The puppeteers, we call them. So these puppets are now getting their strings cut from the overrulers, and then they're going to have choices to make, right? They can do the right thing, as Trump has always given everybody the opportunity to do the right thing. But according to what you guys just talked about with the Dell family, that is pure capitulation. Just like Gates capitulated, just like all the other high-tech companies all capitulated during that dinner they had last month. This is how you're taking down the deep state. And by taking down the deep state, their wealth now becomes our newfound wealth, because they stole it from us, and it's coming back. What does Trump say? When you rob Tiffany's, you must return the diamonds. There we go.
We must return the diamonds. I think Scott said that yesterday. I don't know if he said it today in Tim Sullivan's. I haven't seen so much of the Rumble chat yet. I got to catch up. I was in earlier. Yeah. Thank you guys for all the comments. All right, let's keep cruising. We're gonna rock and roll. So
Bottom of diggers. Yeah. There's a couple things too. While you go to this article, I want to just remind everybody there was big news yesterday in Indiana about the redistricting maps. That's also a big war going on right now. This is one of the wars, is the voter rolls. We're gonna at the bottom of diggers, but I just want to remind everybody that, depending on where you live, keep an eye on your redistricting. Look at your state electors and stuff like that. See what they're working on, because right now, based on a clean voter roll and census, when you look at the landslide victory that we had on remember the 5th of November of 2024, a lot of these states are going to redistrict their maps according to the population who voted in that election. And it was a landslide, folks, which means like Indiana, for example, is going to gain 2 more Republican seats. We already have Texas 5. We know the shenanigans in California trying to get those 5 back, but they're being sued by the Trump version 2. So therefore, they will not get those 5 seats. This is all the step-by-step things that need to take place prior to the midterm elections. And when you see it, even Steve Bannon said we're going to get anywhere from 20 to 30 new seats in there. This is huge, guys. This is a huge shift in the political realm, the political picture. But
wow,
anyway,
that is big.
Yeah,
bigly.
Yep.
So you saw the title. We talked about that. So this is huge. Again, the voter rolls getting cleaned up. Again, DOJ sues 6 more states withholding voter rolls. 14 states now targeted.
There's that 14 again. That 14 keeps popping out. I don't know.
Which 14 states is it? Do you know?
Let's see. The new ones got added.
I was wondering if New Mexico was. So it is.
Oh yeah, there it is. The 6 that just got added: Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington for refusing to hand over their statewide voter registration lists as required under federal law. So, Attorney General Pam Bondi, who has taken a dramatically tougher posture on election transparency than her predecessors, called the states stonewalling a direct threat to clean elections. And they stonewalled Trump when he put together a what do you call kind of coalition? I don't know what the exact word it was called, but he put out a thing to investigate election.
Task force.
Thank you, Tim. Much better word. Election task force. So after 2016, because the Democrats were saying that the election was rigged, so he actually did an investigation on it. And guess what? Everyone turned over their information besides the main swing states, which were all involved in the 2020 stolen election. Imagine that. So we've been watching this shit for a while. The military's handling this stuff. Y'all got to get involved, though, and take action. Call out these liars, cheats, and snakes. These dirty D's, catch them in the act. Participate, get involved, clean up the voter rolls, get voter ID law passed, all these things that will end the charade. Okay, accurate voter rolls are the cornerstone of a fair and free elections, and too many states have fallen into a pattern of non-compliance with basic voter roll maintenance, voter roll maintenance is what Pam Bondi said. That's the big deal, guys, too, because these voter rolls don't get cleaned up. It's so easy to steal that vote, especially with the bogus mail-in ballot thing. Many people got multiple ballots, which is absurd in itself. But imagine all these people that are dead or no longer vote or in nursing homes. And again, there's a program specifically that the Democrats created, kind of probably using software similar to Smartmatic or Dominion. Not saying that they're connected, but that they would find out people that were voting and then suddenly stop voting, and then they would scan to see if these people checked into nursing homes, and then where they basically would start stealing those votes. A computer program would capture and find people that were regularly registered voters that stopped voting, especially were older in age. If they stopped voting, they would find out who they were and then start stealing their vote. Now imagine if the people there's some too where the person would be in a nursing home for 10 years, like a total invalid, unable to take care of themselves, and their children find out about this, children who are now adults taking care of them, and they're dumbfounded. And they found out they've been voting for 10 years when they haven't been doing anything. Now imagine that person dies. How many more years they're going to vote for these people? Because if the voter rolls didn't get cleaned up, then they can keep stealing that vote. Also, that's how stupid that is. That's how stupid it is. And we have the technology. It should be done immediately. We should just have immediately a cleanup of everything. You need to not reapply, but at least reassess.
Yeah.
This is who you are. You're a living human being. Not fucking hard to do. It should be done across the board. Voter ID. This is who I am. My freaking founding fathers and mothers and everyone fought to keep this freedom, a right to vote. Different races and everyone and genders had to fight for the right to vote. I'm okay showing my fucking ID. In fact, I demand that we should have to show your ID before you vote.
But the dirty D's, the dirty D's don't want to do that, Kyle. Because the gig is up. The gig is up when this is all cleaned up. The D's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They've got no power left, guys. The D's, the Democrats are done. They're finished when this is all said and done.
They're done.
They're finished. They're finished.
You can see, though, too, how we're going to have a unification, I think, of people, that it really is important when this all happens that we can stand united with people, because everybody at one time has been, duped, right?
Yep.
Whether we're Republican or we're Democrat or whatever it was, both parties were corrupt. And anyways, so I just realized you guys are both like, you've got your dark to light, like,
Yeah.
your hats are
Sometimes
white
we're
hat,
totally
dark hat.
synced up. Sometimes we're synced up. Sometimes we do the yin yang duality.
took a
Good cop,
picture of
good
it.
cop, bad cop.
Right.
All Kyle needs is a shirt that has the number 43 on it, and we'd be perfect mirror.
Or I'll just get the 34 and have the mirror on.
Yeah, I
Flip
can
it.
do it.
Yeah, have the mirror.
Yeah. So,
Right
did you finish reading that article? Is that are we done with?
Scan through. Let me go to this Q drop real quick. We haven't done a Q drop all
Okay.
day here.
Yeah, I know.
2463.
Well, we got the Delta
11.9.
too, if you guys want to rifle through some of those too.
Okay.
Especially the last
11.9.
one. The last one is well worth it.
11.9 or 9/11 mirrored. 1850. 2363. Again, I've showed this a while back. Most of y'all maybe seen this. This is a map putting them together. These are the counties. Probably can't see this very well, but these are the counties. The way they vote. This is from even like 2016 data. You know, all the red. You see where the blue areas are, and then this one here is the percentage of undocumented immigrants where they are. Like here, obviously all the border spots along up in the East Coast. You'll see them in California, and it perfectly overlays with the blue spots on the Democratic map there. I couldn't zoom that very well, but that's what it shows there. And then it says, amazing what you can discover when you research for yourself. God bless you, Patriots. Q shared a tweet from the Great Storm. I'm guessing they're not there. Oh, we did that game yesterday. Nope, they're not there. Jay smoked me in that game, by the way. And then here's this great graphic. If you haven't seen this, this is just a small list of things requiring ID, but not considered racist. Purchasing alcohol, purchasing cigarettes, opening a bank account, applying for food stamps, applying for welfare, applying for Medicaid, Social Security, applying for a job, for a mortgage, for unemployment, applying for a hunting license, applying for a fishing license, renting a house or an apartment, buying a house or a condo, driving a car, renting a car, registering a car, renting a hotel, buying an M-rated video game, boarding an airplane, getting married, purchasing a gun, adopting a pet, donating blood, pawn shop transactions, among many. All those require showing an ID, but not to vote. Also, Elon Musk recently tweeted about all the different countries that require voter ID, but not the United States. Many of them third world countries, no less, even too. Mexico requires voter ID, but the United States doesn't. If that isn't suspicious, I don't know what is. And this drop says, will recent expected voter fraud actions by the D Party provide support for a voter ID law? Voter ID law equals death.
Oh, I got chills. I was just saying it's the death of this D Party. Here it is.
Boomerang suicide.
Wow.
Boomerang suicide.
Wow.
And they've been boomerang suicide themselves for a while. So that's a big Q drop.
Wow, that fits right in with our conversation and these articles that we're showing you guys. This is the death of the D Party, and our title today, the Dirty D's done. Oh, God.
How many coincidences until it's mathematically impossible, you guys? Come on.
It took us a while to get there to make the connection, but we finally made it in almost, hour number 3, actually.
I think almost 2:17.
Yeah, almost a couple.
Okay, so maybe because of the interest of time, I got one more. If there's anything else you guys want to add for the election, I think we covered it pretty good today. There is one out of the 13 deltas. I think we should go through it again. Exposes the Democrat Party, the shenanigans, and all the dirty deeds. But right now, speaking of dirty deeds done dirt cheap, at the bottom of Diggers, I've got not only an article for Kyle to skim through for us, but just above it is a quick video clip in regards to the shit that's going on with the Somalians in Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Okay,
Let's bring that in.
Okay, I was skimming that article. I just want to read this one part here too. This is that Harmeet Dillon. He's the guy. Who is he? The actor. What is his?
The
role?
girl.
Okay,
the girl.
Thank you. So she's investigating, I think, for the DOJ, correct? So it says Dillon dismantled the excuses states has offered to avoid handing over their voter rolls, calling them baseless, nonsensical, and politically motivated. Mainly, quote from Harmeet Dillon here, she said mainly, quote, mainly they're arguing privacy or that the reason the DOJ has given for their information isn't the real reason. They always have some silly conspiracy theory going, but actually don't have to give a reason. Under the federal laws that we've cited, we're entitled to this information. The states don't get to go back and forth with us. One of the dumbest reasons that I hear put up is, the Social Security number is confidential. Well, how can it be confidential from the federal government that issues the Social Security numbers? That's really silly. The other thing that people should know is that almost all the states that are using this argument voluntarily hand over their voter roll to nonprofit and non-government asshole groups. Eric is one of them. So what's the privacy concern? If you're willing to give it to some nonprofit that benefits your political agenda, why aren't you going to give it to the United States? Because it won't benefit their political agenda because it'll expose their fucking fraud. So
Exactly.
So we're not going to be deterred by these reasons. That is why so many states are actually falling into line. They realize that it would be a waste of tax dollars to fight these efforts. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is help all the states do their jobs better. Of course, the dirty D's too, Tim, always say they want every vote to count. Well, they wouldn't count if they're getting stolen or freaking what else is going on with that, right? Each of these states is required to keep clean voter rolls. They're not doing it for the most part. This is red states and blue states, guys. There you go. It doesn't matter. Get them out. Get out there and start getting them clean. Do what you got to do. I'm sorry to say we did get some resistance from both sides, but we're just here to help. So we're going to compare data. We're going to help eliminate duplicates, help them root out fraud, and get people off the voter rolls who shouldn't be there. What a fucking concept. And then it's really
no kidding.
Then it's really up to the states again to continue to maintain that it's theirs. So that's a big deal. Here's all the laws they can cite to: National Voter Registration Act, Help America Vote Act, Civil Rights Act 1960. These are just some of the things cited and sourced that the DOJ is saying.
Show the 14 states. You went through that too quick. Show the 14 states because some of our audience might be living in those states, so you guys can pay attention.
The 14 states that the Department of Justice has sued for refusing to provide their full statewide voter registration files are California, Democrats; Delaware, Dirty Dick dancing fucking Joe Biden; Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Michigan. Middle East of America, the Middle East, there's the Midwest. We have the Midwest. There's no Middle East. I was telling Mel, I'm going to start calling Minnesota and Michigan. That's the Middle East of America.
Middle East of America.
Michigan, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Mexico. There it is. New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. So there's the 14 states.
Mostly Democrat-controlled states, like for the most part, I think. Yeah, it looks like it.
But like they said, they got resistance from Republican states too and stuff. So
yeah,
and states change over time. And there's the D stands for deep state.
Nice.
Well, turn my
nice screenshots, Melzie. I see what you're dropping there. Awesome, good job, sister. Yeah.
Thanks. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, and for the audience too, if you're watching live, take a screenshot yourself and share this with some of you have family and friends that live in some of these states. You can send them this information and this video to go along with it. Share Q School with them. Get them involved. Encourage them to get involved. Be part of the Patriot America First agenda and movement as we take our country back. All our countries, take them all
our countries, all around the world, baby.
All right.
Shout out General Apex over on Instagram. General Apex over on Instagram. Let's see. Watermark ballots are going to tell all. Zuckerbucks also financed the Democrat Party, going to nursing homes and signing people up to vote and even forcing their signatures. That was what I was talking about. I don't know if he heard me, probably heard me talking about that. Even though they make it illegal to show your ID for voting in New York, I still do it anyway, and they threatened to arrest me. I got to show up everybody's comment. That's our boy General Apex over there, because that's crazy. They actually made a law. Think about that.
He's Michigan, right? That's Michigan?
Yeah. I think he said New York right here. So here's General Apex. Again, shout out. We played his video he made for Q School for our intro yesterday. Follow him over on Instagram, on X. It's pretty much everywhere at General_Apex17. But he said, even though they make it illegal to show your ID for voting in New York, think about that. They don't require an ID to show to actually vote. They make it illegal if you try to ask or show your ID to vote in New York. Is how absurd that shit is. He says, I still do it anyway, and they threatened to arrest me. How stupid is that? That's not threatening anybody by showing ID that they actually threatened to arrest him. Pretty absurd.
That's how upside down. That's how upside down, these Democrat-run areas are. I mean, like Q even says, what's up is down, what's left is right, and what's left is really left. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing unfold, man. Like, it's incredible time to be alive. So let's talk a little more corruption. Dirty D's done dirt deep in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with Ilhan Omar and her brother, her husband. Her brother. I don't know. Like,
all right, we got and Trump was mentioning her too, and then now all of a sudden she's
down to the bottom.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I put everything at the bottom for you, and there's that quick video clip, and then the article. So go to the video clip first.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Gaither, former state senator in Minnesota. David, let's start with you. The lawmakers in this state are petrified of offending the Somalian community. Is that an exaggeration?
Yeah, if anything, it's an understatement. The Somali community is becoming a very powerful voting bloc in Minneapolis. Race in Minnesota, you've got to carry Minneapolis. In order to carry Minneapolis, you have to carry the Somalis.
Hang on, guys. Sometimes the video in Telegram doesn't play quite right. Give it. There we go. Hopefully that's catching up.
And they have become a force to be reckoned with. And any criticism of the group in particular is met with claims of racism and cultural indifference. So it is a very, very hot topic and a very, very...
Okay, having a little trouble with this loading. I'm going to go to the article right now. For some reason, streaming the show on that, it's not working so well. Y'all still there? Tim might have took off for a second while we were going to play in that video. It's lagging a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear. Let us know in the chat if you can hear. Maybe check the chat for us, Mel.
Okay.
Let's put us on the side again. Yeah, Tim was probably expecting the video, but it's a little bit laggy. So taking the heat here, here's this article in Ilhan Omar. What did Ilhan Omar know about the $1 billion welfare fraud case in her Minnesota district? Okay, Rep. Omar, this quote, knew who these people were. People she personally knew were making tens of millions of dollars in this program. Not sure where that quote's exactly from, but then let's see. Here's the thing. Tim linked New York Post. Ilhan Omar's close ties to the $1 billion welfare scam in her Minnesota congressional district are being uncovered. The Democratic rep had held parties at one of the key restaurants named in the fraud, knew one of its now convicted owners, and one of her own staffers has also been convicted now, both for stealing millions. And there's the article from New York Post. Okay, there it is, basically what I just covered. There's a little 1-minute video. All the ads are popping up, going crazy. Let me see if I can get back that video we were trying to play. Anything to add on that, Mel? Kind of straightforward.
I lived in Minneapolis, and I remember when the Somalians were coming in, and it was hard because they didn't have anything to do with like that culture.
Yeah.
And so anyways, then it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And then, I don't even like going there, honestly, because it's just it's dangerous, and it's like the mindset, I guess, is not the same, right? So anyways, I hope that Tim Wells gets exposed for all of this, and that also, what is her name? Ilhan Omar. I like some of the things I see. I mean, President Trump is saying she married her brother. So we've kind of heard that, and now that's coming out in public. And I mean, who thinks that's right? So yeah. I don't know.
Hey, and Jules just hopped over on Instagram also too. So
But I watched. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was just gonna say I have this thing loading up in the background, so I think we'll go to the video once we're ready. But go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was an interview that you said that in 10 years, what will it be like? What would the demographic layout of those states and like Minneapolis look like if it continues on in this way, right? So in all of them, it's not just about the Somalians, it's about all of those illegal aliens that came in without the right way of coming in, and now they're getting government funding. Our money is funding them, right?
Yeah.
And then they're making our policies. That's crazy. So this is where election, again, going back to the election, right? Integrity, because how did these people get elected? Maybe there was election fraud always going on.
Right.
And that's how they acquired these seats.
Right.
So.
And that's the thing too, is like America's this melting pot that's open to like people sharing their cultures, but still when you come, you don't bring your culture and then create like a isolated environment. That's like an invasion, right? Like, why would you come to another country and then still have your country, right? Again, you incorporate customs and culture, and sure, and that's the beautiful celebration. But with the Sharia law stuff, they're actually taking over places. You can see their mindset. It's actually done by design. It's like a militant takeover from their dogmatic religious, Muslim, this ideology, right?
Invasion, not,
infiltration, not invasion. Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
All right.
So, all right, this video should play now. So, let it play. I think we'll have 10 back. So, just be a couple more minutes of the video. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Gaither, former state senator in Minnesota. David, let's start with you. The lawmakers in
All right, still might just be this video in Telegram. I might try to find it over on like Fox News YouTube or something. Somali. Well, I guess we'll have to skip that one. It's kind of the one we wanted to cover, and I know Tim's missing to give us a little bit more insight on that. But is what it is. For some reason, that's not playing. Let's see. Here we go, and that's Seditious 6. I don't want to go over that yet. Tim probably had to go run.
I think we're there pretty much. There's
Yeah,
the pipe bomber. I guess got arrested. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about it.
I think most people heard about that one.
Yeah.
I'd like to go more into that some other time, but I think that was even yesterday. So we showed the Solomon Bannon one. Here's Ilhan Omar again. I think you put all the stuff back to the bottom. Tim's back.
Yep.
I'm having trouble with that video, Tim. It just didn't want to play for us. It was buffering.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we got, I heard you reading the article, and that's the main thing. I mean, that's how horrific the corruption is, and it's being exposed. I mean, it's interesting that even prior to this investigation, which is now becoming becoming known public, Tim Walz was thrown into the realms of the news, all around the news before this investigation started. How does that happen, other than the fact that white hats are in control, patriots are in control, folks? And Tim Walz is part of this, so you're going to see Tim. Now you got Mike Lindell. He's going to run for governor against Tim Walz for the midterm elections. I mean, you can't make this up. So yeah, that's Somalian community. The Somalians, like Trump said the other day, they're a bunch of garbage. We got to remove the garbage from our country. We're going to see some massive deportations and some arrests. They've already arrested 78 people in that area, by the way. And I think part of the article that you read, Kyle, it said part of Ilhan Omar's administration or whatever, or part of her administration have already been arrested. So
wow.
maybe she's next.
Yeah.
Boy, it's going to be bigly soon.
Bigly.
And think about Dearborn, Michigan. I mean, whatever happens in Minneapolis is probably going to happen in Dearborn, Michigan, because that's infiltration, not invasion, also in Dearborn, Michigan, parts of Michigan, right?
Absolutely.
The Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, just like we talked about.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all I got, other than the Q drops. I mean, there's that one delta. I mean, many of today's deltas talk about excuse me.
I do have a picture. I do have a video of. Are you okay, Tim?
Did we lose him?
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a video of President Trump talking about her marrying her brother. If you want to pull it up.
Oh, because he posted on his True Social, I think, right? Is that what you got?
Yeah, it's in Diggers on the bottom.
Okay. Let's see. I'll read some of the comments on Instagram. Thank you, guys. You got some on Diggers. Let's see. Hopefully this plays. It's short. It should play okay.
Yeah.
All right. I might need to hop out if we get a second.
Okay.
Frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do. When you're talking about I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman who goes around telling everybody about our Constitution.
All right, son bitch. Anyways, let me try one thing here. Let me try the True Social, see if it's any better. And then we'll probably just have to wrap it up here. But thank you, guys. We appreciate it. There he goes. Oh, Ilhan Omar threatens Trump allies and companies collaborating with Trump admin. Video. Looks like this just came out. So there's that Gateway Pundit. Just came out 9 minutes ago. And let's check on Poppy Trumpo here. Mega Warrior. John Judge.
That's interesting. That just came out as we were talking. That was our next discussion here on Q School, and all of a sudden, poof, there we go. Elon.
Yeah, I know, right? Right at the top. And then here's all the people who to vote for. Looks like he's been posting those today.
Oh, yeah. Everybody get on Truth and follow DJT. You got to follow this guy you got to follow the boss, man. He's going to tell you who to vote for in your areas.
Check this out. We had 222s keeps popping up, right? In different ways. Oops. And we happen to show that already with the 222, our timestamps we had. But if you go to Gematria, again, I'm dealing with the poisoning of America, which that could be in many different ways, no less. But specifically, though, if you put in the poisoning of America in all capital letters, is 222. Wow. Also, and we just look at that 111, 345, and 1114 on the reduction also. So it's got all the numbers there.
Amazing.
The poisoning of America, he just had that in all capital letters. And then I think if I go a little bit farther back, though, I think he posted something that showed a video about Ilhan. No, here we go. The sleazebag governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, refused to allow an elderly woman, Tina Peters, who was unfairly convicted of what the Democrats do, cheating on elections, out of jail. So there's a great post about that. Tina Peters, that was from yesterday. And then he reposted that one? Oh, that's never mind. Where's the one about Ilhan? Let's see if it comes up here. Biden administration, weaponized stuff. We're not going to cover that.
Yeah, well, that's big news. He basically has already authorized that all the auto pen, anything signed by the auto pen is null and void. It's done. I mean, all the pardons, all the EOs, anything with an auto pen attached to it is no longer in effect, no longer in law. That's
so and he announced that, but was there actually an official ruling from a judge or DOJ, or how's that work?
Well, he actually came out with his own what do you call it? It's not an executive order. It's a
proclamation.
A proclamation, I think. Yeah, I believe it's a proclamation.
Okay.
Just the other day too. If you go back far enough, it'll probably show that. Maybe that's that white document that you just blew past. Is that it? Is that it right there?
Councilman Henry Queller, Imelda, open borders.
Oh no, that was the pardon of the Democrats in unjustly were jailed.
Yeah. Okay.
They were attacked by the Democrat Party.
Okay. Let's see. Matt Epps. There we go. Matt Epps wins. Tim was talking about that earlier.
Tuesday night. Everybody did a good job voting for Epps. Yeah.
Here it is 1 day ago. Any and all documents, proclamations, executive orders, memorandums, or contracts signed by order of the now infamous and unauthorized auto pen within the administration of Joseph R. Biden Jr., that's how the auto pen signed it, are hereby null, void, and of no further force or effect. Anyone receiving pardons, commutations, commutations. Is that how it's supposed to be spelled? They're commuting somebody's sentence. Is it called a commute? That doesn't seem like the right
commutations.
Commutations. Okay, I guess it is. And I just didn't mispronounced it. Forgive me. But anyways, commutations. That's again commuting somebody's sentence, right? Like basically instead of having 30 years, you're done with it. Okay, or any other legal document so signed. Please be advised that said document has been fully and completely terminated and is of no legal effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, I haven't got to do that one for a while. Let me bring my graphic on here. Boom. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So that's what we're doing with all of Biden's pardons and proclamations, all their bullshit on auto.
Moabs.
There you go. Anyways, he shared a video that was making fun of Ilhan. I think it even said something about her marrying her brother.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So anyways, maybe your homework is to go out and try and find that video and watch it.
Yep. And also you can check out his troll accounts. Have good stuff on here. This looks like straight troll from the boss. Anyways, Rand Paul messaging him. Let's see, is this a real thing or that was me a joke? I don't know. Anyways,
Rand Paul's got to be. We have to vote him out too. He's got to be primaried.
I think it's kind of exposing all that, which is sad. Like this whole movement, you have all these people. It's just the way it is. But that's why you don't get too attached to the messenger. Like listen to the messages from people. Don't get attached to the characters in the movie theater, right? And take care of yourself, love yourself, and then find other like-minded friends that are on the same mission, same path as you, and find them, right? Reach out to them on different social medias, but try to have actual meetups and stuff and little gatherings. See if anybody in your town's into the cute stuff or waking up or has questions. You might be able to help somebody, or somebody can help you. Vice versa. So make sure y'all reach out and connect.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, guys. It's my my time to cook dinner, so I'm going to sign off. And thanks again, Melzie, for your updates on the Venezuela stuff and everything. And Kyle, thanks for reading those articles. If you guys want to spend a little bit more time, I'll be listening. But if you want to bring up a couple of today's deltas, I know the last one is a good one to read. The other ones are about what's that organization? The Red Cross. There's a lot of Red Cross stuff in there. Okay. We don't have to dive into that. We did dig on that years ago, folks. But just know that the Red Cross is not your friend. And Kyle can explain a little bit bit more about that. But the one Q drop is the last one. I think it'll attach to a lot of the title today. The Dirty D's done dirt cheap. And I want to thank everybody for your spending your quality time with us today on Q School. Again, don't forget to hit like, share, all that fun stuff. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow is D5 conversation tomorrow with brother Kyle and sister Melzie. We've got a state funeral to cover tomorrow. Letters and envelopes. I think
D5,
I heard. And who are the cameramen? Who are the freaking cameramen?
Who are the cameramen, huh? Who are the cameramen? Great question, Timbo. Thank you for all you do, brother. We love you. And
Thanks,
the very
guys.
first Delta will be a reference to that. So we're actually a perfect transition. So right when you hop on.
Love, everybody. We'll see you guys either tonight on Telegram or I'll catch you guys here tomorrow in Q School. Love,
love, brother. See you next time. So let's go straight into it. So if we're actually going in chronological order, the very first of the 13 December 4th Deltas today is QDrop 247. This is super important. This is going to be a cool Q proof for y'all that maybe don't know about these ones. Once two of us, let's do this over here. And then, so here's the QDrop. It's QDrop 247, December 4th, 2017, 10:01:07 on the PM Eastern Standard Time timestamp. Have you been watching the news since Friday? Who is Peter Strzok? How was he compromised? How was he paid? Who is Melissa Hodgman? That's his wife. Company? I don't know that. Title? Date of promotion? Focus on the date. What events regarding Peter recently occurred that you now know? Think HRC emails, Wiener laptop. Okay, obviously like his lover, Lisa Page, other things of that nature. Colluding with the DNC and talking ill of Donald Trump, things of that nature. Let's see, dates. Date of promotion of wife. How did they stack the deck? And this is also what we're talking about. We finally want justice, right? These have been some of our themes, justice for Christmas or this season. And they stacked the deck because they put the people who would prosecute them in those roles, whether it's the judge or it's the attorney general, or it's, you name it. Okay. That's how they stack the deck. And that's how they ensure themselves from getting caught up, right? Who do they want inside the government? Their people that they blackmail and control. What are puppets? People they can blackmail and control. How do you control a puppet? By blackmail. Number 2 in the FBI, Andrew McCabe. Ooh, I never caught that connection before. How do you control a puppet? Number 2 in the FBI, Andrew McCabe. All right, but obviously they got blackmail, other things. But wife connection, well, she donated big time money to Hillary Clinton's campaign. Her 2016 campaign, no less. Andrew McCabe was on the FBI team investigating her emails, and his wife's donating to her campaign, and she kicks back to his wife's campaign. I believe his wife was campaigning for something, and Hillary, the Clinton Foundation, donates to her campaign. That's how these cocksuckers stack the deck. All right, but here's the fun part. What is a pattern? Follow the wives. Keep watching the news this week. Future proves past. Reread crumbs. Okay, crumbs are the Q drops. They're painting the big picture. Follow the wives. Keep watching the news this week. Again, this is how the Q drops are quantum. I'm sure something happened this week. If we're in that moment, you could look up maybe some of the big events. But look at this date. It's December 4th, 2017. 1 year and 1 day. I don't know why this one's off 1 day. I've always wondered that. But it's 1 year and 1 day to the exact date because it's D5. The December 5th D5 funeral was 2018. That's George H.W. Bush being executed. And the sequence of events, as you'll see, is first Q talks about D5 in the spring of 2018. As we get closer, Q starts alluding to that maybe D5 means December 5th. All of a sudden it comes out that Huber, who we learned about from the Q drops, is testifying on the Clinton Foundation on what day? Drum roll, December 5th. Next thing we know, James Comey puts out a tweet about Benji Dog dying. Almost 17 days later, George H.W. Bush dies on the 30th, November 30th, 2018. 5 days later, they drag his carcass in there for the funeral. 5 days later, and all the wives is when they get those letters is at that funeral on December 5th, 2018. And look at this Q drop. It says, what is a pattern? Follow the wives. Keep watching the news this week. Future proves past. And of course, reread the crumbs too, because if you don't reread this drop, you might have forgot it. Follow the wives. All the wives were the ones who got the letters at that D5 funeral, which we're going to be covering tomorrow. If you guys have other digs you want to do with us, we're going to cover D5 stuff tomorrow. Let us know. And there it is. Future proofs past. Reread crumbs. And then small. I'll read the rest of this drop here. Small. How many D's and R's will not seek re-election? This is everything we've been covering too, right? This is the Q drop. There's 24 Red October drops. Q drop 24 talks about people not seeking re-election. They were put in submission. This says D's and R's. Now, what do we have? Marjorie Taylor Greene, not seeking re-election. We got Nancy Pelosi, not seeking re-election, and many, many others, right? It's breaking numbers, record numbers, just like they have on all the previous elections. Why? What just passed in the Senate? Again, think of these quantumly. This is from 2017, but did anything recently pass in the Senate recently? That would maybe be the Epstein stuff. Ooh, who else is not going to be seeking re-election? Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Let's go. All right, we're going to close this up here. What just passed Senate? Why? Who is their new handler? Daddy's their new handler. Daddy's in town with all the goods, and we have it all. We have it all. We caught them all these snakes. So they're going to do as told. You bet your ass. Why is this relevant? Because you're in military theater. You're officially in a war, kids. Y'all be better paid attention. Do you not understand the government is being gutted publicly? Bottom, middle, top. Hussein, Iran connection. Bombs away. Merry Christmas. How about that Q drop for us all? We've been covering all the Christmas stuff. And the very first Delta, 1 of 13, is the Q proof with the wives getting the letters at the D5 funeral, which we're going to cover tomorrow. And it even ends with a Merry Christmas in there too. You got to love that one.
You do.
Right?
Yep. Who could have planned that?
Yeah. Anything to add on that drop, Mel? And then I'll share the very last one because Tim wants us to read that one. It kind of ties together the theme. One. Okay, so last Q drop. Again, I was using Q alerts to find the deltas, kind of the easiest place. QAlerts.net or .pub. When you go there, this is what it looks like. If you zoom in here in the middle, deltas, yesterday, today, tomorrow, quick little link will bring them up for you. So it's super nice. They generally start with the last post and then go forward, I think. But where's the 13 drops? Oh, wow. You know what? I'm going to start at the beginning and see if anything else catches my attention. Fly, Roths, fly. Okay, we were taking out the Rothschilds in the very beginning also. Super important. Tim talked about that, the red. We've had some big digs in the past on Red Cross. This also connects to AIDS. Hussein had an AIDS video too. Lots of money laundering with that too. Expand your thinking. News unlocks meaning. That's interesting. Peter Comey wife. Wiener emails. Reread. Red Stringer again. Red Cross is corrupt and used as a piggy bank. Future topic. Diseases created by families in power. Population control plus pharma billions in kickbacks. I'm assuming the KB is kickbacks. I've asked some other friends about that. Lowercase is also like kilobytes. Y'all have some other theories on what you think the KB is, but generally I think we capitalize. I guess you don't have to capitalize pharma. Anyways, I think population control plus pharma propagates billions, and then kickbacks though for all the politicians and everybody else that goes along with this bullshit. Think AIDS. Future topic, relevant, fly, Ross, fly, Q. Interesting. AIDS might make a future topic that hasn't really come up that I know of. Okay, expand your thinking. That's kind of more digs, not getting to that stuff so much. Learn to read the map. You have more than you realize. Let's check that. You have more than you know is 45 Q drops. How many you have more than you realize? Might only be one. I'd be curious. Why don't you guys check that one out for me? How many Q drops have you have more than you realize? I feel like it might be one, maybe a couple. That'd be a good connection. Q point out the picture on the red.org site with the Korean woman pointing to the Meet Me in Seoul. Obama goes to China. Did he go to Seoul or Seoul too? Seoul, South Korea? Again, Q just reshares this. I always say my opinion of this is Q says, good job. You're on the right track. Keep going. So look more into that. Okay, look more into that. Some people would say it's confirmation. There's Q did not say confirmed or whatever though. All right, so anyway, stuff about South Korea, Red Cross, North Korea on the deltas. And here's the very last Q drop for today's deltas, December 4th of 2018. So no other December 4th drops since 2018. So what is that, 7 years ago? December 4th got pretty bare on the Q boards. And then here's the image from the Q drop, supposedly from December 4th, 2017. But I didn't see that one, did it? Or maybe we did. I might have scrolled past it. Flynn, who knows where the bodies are buried? I'm not seeing that on December 4th, kids. What's the deal here? Did I scan past it? I think I would have recognized that one. But I thought, where is it then? What's the date? So that's the thing. Sometimes we check things out. So I'm going to put in Flynn is safe. I'm going to do on QAG so I can keep this tab open. Check this out real quick. We'll do, let's see, Flynn is safe. Oops. All right, and we see, check this out. Look at that. So that I don't know what that all means, but actually this Q drop is 260. Did it even have the number wrong over there? Oh, this doesn't have the Q drop number, but look at this. It's shown at December 4th, 2017 at 22:24:14. So what that probably means is actually this timestamp is not in Eastern Standard Time like it should be. So why would Q borrow this graphic, right? This is some strange deep decodes, I think, honestly, time travel stuff, perhaps even too. Let me pop over to the real Q drop here, real timestamp. It's December 1st. There it is. It's at 24 minutes, 14 minutes past the hour Eastern Standard Time. So that one's 2 hours back. So that's actually in Mountain Standard Time, which is an odd timestamp in the first place to have. Melzie and I are both in Mountain Time right now. We're having some time traveling incidences. So who fucking knows what's really going on out here, right? But December 5th, 2017, there's the timestamp. 8chan, it's on the Calm Before the Storm board. 35004 on that. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn is safe. We protect our patriots. So that's the original Q drop, 260. Now we're going to go with this Q drop, which then is not done till the very next year, 1 year to the day. It's almost like Q was pointing us to the other Q proof there. But 2548, Q themselves shares that image, which again, why would Q share an image with, and again, maybe an anon made it with the red box, but
Okay, so the
actually
time
it's
is
highlighting the
24:14, and the other one is it's zeros. It'd be 00:24:14.
right, because it's 2 hours behind. So
Yeah.
24 minutes, 14 seconds.
So that the time,
So-
but the other date was 12:05.
Because it's at midnight. Let me show that again.
Okay,
So this is Monday. Okay,
Yep.
so we're assuming, double check that. Is December 4th actually a Monday? That would be, I don't think, well, I guess they could Photoshop it. We should see if December 4th is Monday, and that means December 5th would be Tuesday. Just to show that one more time, it was 22. But here on QAG, I think it's always in Eastern Standard Time. I for sure put mine there. So that's why it's just past midnight on December 5th. We protect our patriots. So, but why then is Q sharing this graphic? That's not the right day in a red box. That's just odd to me.
Yeah.
So let's check that out. And I think more so because they are posting on the 2018. This is gonna be some kind of proof, right? So here it is, and we get something from Twitter. Tom Winter, December 4th of 2018. And it is NBC News. Special counsel Robert Mueller asked the judge for little or to no jail time for retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who ya dad, in exchange for what they've described as his substantial assistance to their investigation. Such a beautiful thing to be a part of this whole ride. I know some of y'all are learning through us as we go along, but being, watching the Q drops in real time throughout, this was like a special moment to get these Q proofs. Then also, like, we can trust the plan. It says Flynn is safe. And 1 year to the day, I guess 1 day ahead of schedule, technically on Eastern Standard Time, but there it is. In the evening, December 4th, 2018, Robert Mueller, special counsel, announces that there will be little to no judge time for General Flynn in the Q drop 1 year prior to the day, said Flynn is safe. That's the kind of beautiful confirmations you get throughout this whole thing. And I was going to say one more tiny thing about it. What was it? Oh, right here. And described, again, Robert Mueller, which again, if he's undercover white hat, seems like it is, and he's saying that General Flynn gave substantial assistance to their investigation. This is the art of war. They think they're getting Trump on Russia. The deep state, their dirty D's are water in their mouth and they're chomping at the bit, thinking they got Trump, and it's all these boomerang suicides, right? And the special assistance, it wasn't going to be for getting Trump like they thought. Flynn turned on Trump. No, Flynn's patriot all the way through and through. He's part of the bloodline with Trump and all these guys. He's on the squad. He stood by this the whole way through. And without a doubt, we're gonna stand behind our patriots too. So the people believe they was turning over evidence on Trump. He was telling the truth, but the evidence points to Obama and Hillary Clinton and Russia. That's also why they attack General Flynn so much. That's why all the sleeper cells, the fagas, the fake influencers, the Mossad-controlled bitch ass fake MAGA people are attacking Flynn, and that's a pretty good indicator that somebody's gone sketchy because he's a key piece of the puzzle. They know something. The deep state knows something that Flynn's gonna be a key piece. That's why he's attacked so relentlessly.
I think so too. I mean, he's like the only one that Obama said to Trump, don't bring him on.
Yes,
whatever you do.
Obama specifically said to Trump, don't use General Flynn.
Yep.
Right. So there you go. So you want to talk about anything with the Printify? Do that, Mel. I'm going to find a closing video for us because I had one from our AAN that was actually about General Flynn. So I'm going to dig that up if you want to talk about some of that. I'll be right back with you.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just going to move this off here and get the QR codes. Okay, you guys, we have some great stuff, and I know we've been talking about it, but I'm going to put it up again. Here is the QR code for the Christmas wrapping, and you can use it actually at any time. Like I said, let's do right there. And just scan the QR code, and let me put up here theprintify.com so you can go there.
Put that on the bottom for them to find it, and I'll be right there to help you out here. I'm just
right
this
there.
video.
Okay. So, and then I'll go up here. We have also this great stocking that has a Q post on the back, and Kyle can bring that up and show it too. We showed it really pretty extensively, but it's a great stocking stuffer, and then you can stuff it with your Q School wrapping paper, and then we also have some Pepe wrapping paper as well.
That's cool.
Right here. So, you can get out there and people can be, what is this about? They're 17, or, use them as ways to kind of open up and let people start talking. And here is a great little ornament too, very economical gift if you're looking for something to give people. And we also have some cups in here, some mugs, pieces of the prize, and then it has the Trump True Republic under military power on the back of it. And I think we do have, I don't have it in here, but there's like a t-shirt that I did with the Q post too. So if you need a t-shirt for Christmas or a long sleeve shirt, an ugly t-shirt to wear with a message, go out and check that out there. And we have some hoodies. I can't wait to get myself one of these and start wearing it. So this has Q School on the back and then 17 on the front, and it's a zipper one. I think we are making something else too that'll be a pullover, and we do have an embroidery one. So just go to Printify.
Let me go ahead and show some of them on the site here.
Okay.
So there's the website right below me there, hammertime.printify.me. Other ways you can help support the channel and stuff. Some of the swag, again, Mel's been working really hard at it. So if you also want to get some stocking stuffers for your different friends and family and whatnot, the hammertime.printify.me. Again, stocking stuffers, wrapping paper, the ornaments she covered. We have kids hoodies also with the Q School. Where we go one, we go on the front, the 17 on the back. Most of them have different numbers and stuff too. Here's a really cool pullover. I think I'm going to get also where you can split it with the 1 and 7. Q School's on the back of that one. There's a regular pullover hoodie. That's also got Q on the sleeve.
This is 17. The embroidery.
Oh, that one's embroidered. So, anyways, keep building on some different stuff. And then there's the mugs and ornaments, bags, all kinds of stuff, cups. And then, of course, with the Q drop on there, the cups, the t-shirts, the hats, all the stuff. And then the stocking stuffer too, the stocking with the Q drop on it. Q drop $25.98. Hammer Time and Q School on there with Santa with the hammer and the QA signed by QA, and that's even got the Q drop on the back of it. So super cool. It's got 2 sides to it. Beautiful thing to start the conversation with your friends and family. Q Post 2598, Santa with a hammer, signed by QA. This Christmas we want justice. Confirmed. So I'm going to say, Q confirmed that shit. We want justice.
Right.
So thanks for all the love and support out there, guys. We appreciate you all. Y'all can just scan the code with your QR code on your phone if you're watching on your computer, wherever you are. Or again, go ahead and check out hammertime.printify.me and then put the other ticker on when we do this last video. Other ways y'all can help donate to the channel. I'll update all my photos so it is me, white hat on the one. Again, the Venmo, I think it's Archer. He's got the 157 on the chest. Scott was asking about that. So I'll update that. And we'll do some of that stuff. So thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Love, love, love. And I got a good little closing video here. I haven't seen it yet, but it's from our AAN on 55, who started the show off for us. And he's got a little 3-minute video we're going to play called Building the Army. And I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to close up on that. Any last words, Mel?
Yeah, I do have a QR code here if you want to scan that, and it'll take you directly. This is the Venmo. And then Cash App, I think we have right here.
Yeah, and all at White Hat Kyle, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and we'll share that with all the family, all the different stuff, renewing the subscription and all the different things we use in.
All right.
All right, on.
Right on.
All right, cool. Thank you guys. Love, love, love. I'll read the comments afterwards. I haven't been able to read them in a minute from the Rumble side. Thank you guys. All the beautiful comments over on Instagram. I was popping over from time to time. Thank you guys for watching us. Please make sure you follow me if you're watching wherever you're on X. Help me grow my following so we can keep getting the information out to everyone. Share the lives out. That's a big, big help. Thank you guys. I didn't shout out all the people that shared the lives. Awesome comments too. I've been reading through. I've been meaning to make some notes because you guys have such good conversation. There's Scott, our brother Scott. Thank you for all that you do and all the beautiful things you say about Q School and all the amazing connections you've already made in our chat groups. Thank you, brother. There's Mag5, aka Susan Calloway. Same here, Q fam. My heart is so full because of all of you. And she was responding to our brother Scott out there in Colorado. Thank you, brother. And Jay Rosemary. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Love, love, love. All right, let's do this video. Maybe we'll be under 3 hours. Here we go. Love, love, love. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Spartans! What is your profession?
I brought more soldiers than you did.